outro. Okay, oh boy. Welcome all to another episode. Maybe even the last episode. Who knows? Hisouten Podcast 27. Podcast for the Hisouten Princess. So, today we are going to talk about Melia. And with us, we have Iron. Iron, say hi.
Hello.
That's a hi. With me, fucking Iron. With me, I got friend and me. I got myself. That's us. The last episode was just me. Iron. Wait, there's also Zero.
I'm actually here today.
We've also got the person who, has the stream up right now. 0 views.
Look, the last character, I may as well chip in a little bit on my angst for this character.
Understandable. We are kind of pooped. It's the last episode, so we are kind of low energy, but we will do our best and push through. So, with that said, I think we can start. You already showed through the pre-stream what happened this week on tournaments and everything, right?
Yeah, there was a Dream Chasers, there was the BB17 and Success 120. At this point, if you're not following the tournaments, there's no much reason for us to talk about them. I'm just going to have recap images for you guys. But the one that I think I should mention is probably the Poverty Dungeon. So recently on the Reddit r/salty, I don't know of their community, I'm not familiar with them, but they went and shilled Hisouten for us, and so they had a Hisouten Soku tournament. So we had a bunch of our top players who joined that tournament to kind of show a different community what this fighting game is all about. So I don't know,
it was a pretty fun tournament. It was actually decently well put together. The stream was pretty good. I think Tessiro and the High Lord guy, whoever was in charge of the Salty Lounge or whatever it is, they commentated it together, and it was a pretty respectable tournament. There were a couple of people who weren't from our server, Hisouten, but most of them were from here, which is sort of expectable. It's expected from most of these tournaments that shill Hisouten with our server because we're the main source of the tournament players.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was to be expected. The players who did join there, they're not from Hisouten. They have to deal with a much higher skill-based players. So, I mean, it sucks to be them, but that's what Soku's all about. We're the best.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Also, we had DC. That went pretty well. Let me check. I actually don't remember what happened last night.
Who won DC?
Daka Wolf in DC 26.
Yes. I think it was Daka Wolf. Let me see.
Yeah, Daka's been playing in DC since like DC 7 or 10. I don't know. The dude's been part of DC for a while now. It's honestly expected that he would have won at this point. Like, the guy's getting crazy good with Saku. He's so solid. Like, his Okizeme just makes me gachi-gasm.
Yeah, he's got definitely strong Okizeme. I gotta say that about him. His neutral is pretty solid as well.
I mean, I want to compare him to Lionheart, the previous Saku you got, Not Oxidol, who's that, But, our guy, Lionheart. I hope to one day see him as one of the best Sake players in our server.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Daka Wolf won, and because of that, I kind of decided that maybe it's fine to let him out and let him join the higher ranked tournaments and stuff. Like Seki though, I gave him an extra lap around the track, so he gets to play one more time.
I think that's just about it for the France 5 members, though. The running team of France 5 in the server, which I think consists of PC Volt, Daka Wolf, Seiki, El Cerno, and there's one more.
Who is the other one?
The last one I don't really remember.
Oh, it's Dagoth, right?
Dagoth? Oh, Dagoth. That's right, Dagoth Tuhu. And he won beginner beatdown in the past with flying numbers, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see him in top 4 consistently within the next few Dream Chasers. So good luck to him.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, well, I think we can move on here.
I think it's the case.
Alright, so let's talk about Remelia.
Straight to the
Bad.
point.
She's a bat.
Yes, she is a bat. She is a bat. She moves fast. She hits hard, and she's got conversions for days off of like
Everything.
two main abilities.
Everything ever.
Yeah. So about the lore, Zero Fuse, I believe you have some knowledge about this character.
Give me just a second.
All right.
Yeah, there's something
Well,
really I have to fix.
what do we know in general without needing, documents and wikis and whatever? Like we know already.
Yeah, we know what games she appears in. She appears in the I believe she appears in some of the photo shooting games, and her main game, which is the embodiment of Scarlet Devil, aka the OG Toho game. Toho's first Windows game, the one that all the tryhards play, basically.
The really popular one
Yeah, that's the most popular Toho game.
with oversaturated with fan content. Yeah, that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so what's there to say about Remelia? Outside of the obvious parts, she's the headmistress of the Scarlet Devil Mansion.
Yeah, she's the headmistress of the
I
Scarlet Devil
get the
Mansion.
feeling that she has like European origins, though, based on her name, her house, and like her clothing style.
Yeah, it is sort of gothic in nature. The entire Scarlet Devil Mansion, because people back then in history, it was really a European thing to ever have a mansion. No other culture used to really have that sort of thing.
So this is kind of that's kind of why she stands out then.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's see. Is a vampire. Sunlight, evaporates her. She drinks blood. It's all that vampire good stuff. In Gensokyo, vampires are said to be very strong species. Typically as strong as Oni, maybe as fast as a Tengu. And her expected age is to be somewhere in the 500 range, maybe a little bit older. Like, this Lolly, yeah, she's actually 500 years old,
Very old Lolly, that's for sure.
What a classic. This young lady is actually 500 years old.
The way she speaks, she does come off as like kind of mature, but she still has like childish mannerisms. So, I mean, it's a little bit of both, and I feel like she just kind of toys around whenever she gets the chance. She's unexpectedly polite most of the time. She can also be quite haughty, bratty, childish, kind of a part of her nature, I suppose. But she's charismatic. We've got to point this out. Just like how the Remelia server is named Charisma, right? She's very charismatic.
Yeah, that's Remelia. That's the first thing I think of when I name that character. I think, what a charismatic lady. But something interesting I thought about how these immortal characters are always very childish. And you see this depiction a lot. But when you think about it, the progression of time and entropy actually sort of gives us as humans a motivation to grow and to like actually live through life. Like if there's no expectation of death, then you don't really need to worry about it, and you don't actually have to do anything because it's never going to end. So why would you even bother? There's no real pressing concern.
What? So that's why
all these
people stay childish?
They stay childish and they're petty and they never really mature because they don't really have to worry about like big important stuff like leaving a legacy, because they are the legacy.
That's deep. I feel like it actually makes sense, but
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
strangely.
I like that interpretation of the common, really old, but also childish.
Yeah.
What does?
All right, let me talk a little bit about the more controversial part about her actual power, and it's supposed to be the power to manipulate fate. This is very vague. There's no real confirmed examples of her using this ability. It's hypothesized that she does do it unconsciously, or in her favor, or unintentionally changes fates, and could just for the fact that it might be interesting for her. She could, if she could manipulate any fate to her choosing consciously, she would likely be undefeatable, or like unbeatable. Like nobody would ever beat this girl, or perhaps maybe the spell card rules of Gensokyo that were implemented by Yukari, I think back in the past, they probably prevent this. Like this does seem like an extremely overpowered kind of skill to have. And personally, I don't think that Remilia even knows that she has this ability. Kind of like, I guess Haruhi Suzumiya. Like, she's God, right? But she doesn't know she has those powers, right? If she did, though,
I mean, quite the old reference, I feel, but yeah,
Oh my
I feel
God,
it.
you're all waves.
That's really old.
Sorry. Her appearances, though, embodiment of Scarlet Devil. She's kind of the backbone of Toho games, right? Being like the first stage 6 boss.
The first Windows final boss. Pretty hard one too.
Yeah, she definitely made an impact. I know that like some of her spell cards are considerably difficult, but the main thing that everybody liked about that game was that it was like pretty standard and average. It wasn't too easy and it wasn't too hard. The difficulty was just sort of it was good and
high. Yeah,
it was a good challenge.
I'd argue that Pachulu was extremely easy to beat in that game. She didn't have much going for her.
That's just because you obsess so much over her that you just probably played her fight like a million times.
I don't feel like I can agree. Fucking Patchouli, I swear to God. Even normal.
Okay, but in the Toho game, she wasn't that strong. Like, her spell cards are very basic, very linear things. You can get around them easily.
It kind of like in Soku. Because she changes a lot.
Imagine if she was at full power. okay, I'm wife fagging now.
I did play the entirety of. I played a lot of Embodiment of Scarlet Devil on higher difficulties, and she changed a lot depending on character you use. So, but it's also not easy at all. Although if you Sakura, it's easier.
Yo, that sounds like Soku. Seriously, you change your skill set depending on what character you're fighting. But I already talked about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's playable in Imperishable Night, right? So
yeah.
Why?
She's part of the Scarlet team.
I don't know why. I think it was because it had to
going
do.
on there.
Yeah, she was able to go out in nighttime, right? That's when all this was.
Yeah, that was because the whole plot of Imperishable Night was that the moon was just up for way too long.
It was
and
night.
It was
that was
the night was there for way too long, and that was because Aaron or whoever, or maybe it was Kaguya. I don't remember at all.
Kind of both.
It was something kept the moon in the damn sky for way too damn long, and that's why Remilia could go out during the night, because it lasted longer and it was weird. So she
why would she want to fix that?
Browbeat Sakuya into going out to help her find out what was happening here, and basically do all the dirty work for her, because Remilia is lazy.
I never played that routing in that game.
She's not lazy. She just has
wait. I don't know, because I know you played the story mode of the other fighters.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about Remilia, Remilia design in the fighting game? Mostly because she started in IAMP. Yeah.
Oh, IAMP.
IAMP she was pretty similar to the end product in Soku. You'll say had like weird fast movement. I don't know why they did. Well, she was like the only character to have the hop dash. It was this thing she had. I don't know. It's still kind of interesting. I complain about the hop dash a lot, but it actually does bring a lot of possibilities to the table.
And how do you feel about her character now in Soku after 2 games?
Like pretty well. Like when through like the games, just like pure power. She just shoots big ass giant bursts of random bullets. That's like her most powerful attack. She uses extreme, use physical ish than Maku, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
and it kind of reflects in Soku because most of her, she's very melee based, you will say, because her bullets are very weak. They're very fast, but they're very weak.
Hmm. Can say that I feel that in the game actually, but okay.
Well, it does sort of, it makes up for it by especially like the B bullets. They're very fast, and that makes up for them being sort of weak because you don't really have the time to reactively put up a denser bullet to beat them unless you already have one out there. So it's like, yeah.
When I say weak, I meant density based. By the way, not that they're a bad move. B bullets are very good.
Yeah, they're weak as in the bullets themselves are weak. Yeah, low density bullets.
Yeah, they still seem to go through like 5Cs or something.
I mean, 5C
because there's a lot of them. Okay,
not dense. 5C is not dense.
5C is definitely not dense.
It's B1. Each of the bullets is B1, and each of the C1. Density, and each of the Remy B bullets are C1 too, so there is like a shotgun burst.
Wait, the C bullets should be B tier, pretty sure.
Yeah, the C bullets are B tier, and the B bullets are C tier. It's confusing. We're dumb as a community.
Of course.
I mean, it's rather simple. The C bullets are usually stronger than the B bullets, so it's I know that the system B, C kind of confusing, but
we just say C tier and B tier because we consider spells A tier and sometimes S tier.
Yeah,
on density.
It's it can get confusing, but if you know what's up, it's fine. It works.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing at first. It's a small shotgun burst. It goes through very weak bullets with almost nothing. Usually, the main function is to interrupt.
So, I guess while we already talking about bullets, we are kind of discussing how you kind of work around neutral with media. I know media kind of jumps around, oops here, oops there, and kind of flies, and then bullets.
Here, yeah. Let me give you something to work off of, and then I want you to like prove me wrong.
Okay.
Okay. So my theory on Remelia is that her playstyle is based around her being able to bait bullets with her speed and kind of just weave into your defensives. So she utilizes this by doing things like JD6 and kind of huddling around a higher area, like a little bit of a higher horizontal plane in comparison to the opponent, and then they wait for an opening like that. So how does that sound?
It's kind of hard, depending on like the opponent bullets, because some bullets are very hard to graze, especially with how do I say, segmented Remelia's flight is. Like, normal characters, like, I don't know, Yomu or Aya. Aya is a good example where you can use 6 detours someone using bullets, and like, you can end your flight at any time.
Yeah.
And like with Remelia, if you fly,
like every flight is an air dash.
You fly at a set distance, like, or you air dash a set distance too. So you can't like really fly more or fly less. You either don't fly once, or fly twice. So that actually makes some matchups kind of difficult. Also patchouli. Or Yukari.
So
oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry.
So say you're just starting the game and you're at full screen from the opponent. What is there some specific movement that you want to do? Does that completely depend on the matchup? Is there some sort of end-all start to playing Remelia based on the spacing you're at?
I think like at the start of the game, you either want to just kind of be a bit safe and set a default to 1-4, which is the delayed bats that give a really good cover. Or I don't know, if you feel the opponent is like gonna try to use set of bullet cover, like I don't know, Yuyuko C bullets, you can try to like interrupt them with like Remelia B bullets, which are very fast, and they're made to interrupt startups.
Yeah, like, definitely. Honestly. I feel that a lot whenever I'm playing against Remelia. The B bullets then tend to interrupt startups, especially because they cover a deceptively wide area as well.
Yeah, they're in a shotgun spread, so they're actually kind of wide.
They're wide, and that means that even if your bullets are denser, they might just avoid them entirely. I know that like somebody with like Yukari will definitely beat the bullets because those C bullets are just so wide they actually cover her entire body, but somebody like random C bullets, and that won't actually work too well because you'll still kind of get tagged.
Yeah, sometimes they go around kind of like a really, really, really weak version of EQ6C sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure range. But yeah, sometimes it goes around.
Yeah, it's also
So interrupt with
deceptive and,
people.
like, you could. It's like whenever I'm fighting Remelia, it's like they're either like huddling around that range to poke you with 5B, or they just go in and do a J2A or something. And it's like I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to play around.
Since Remelia's since you're Remelia, your movement in general is extremely fast. So you can stay at like a range, and then like at any point you can, well, not at any point, because Remelia movement is really weird, but you can like just go in at a really fast speed, and the opponent can sometimes just doesn't have time to react. You just go in really fast with like a big move like J8A, which is kind of well, J2A, which is really fat.
And can't you J6D through people? Does that work?
No. You put, if you use J6D towards a collision box, you don't go through it. Even though it does have like invulnerability frames on flight, like Remelia does have like 1 or 2 invulnerability frames on per flight, it almost never makes a difference.
So it's about as useful as backdash on some characters then.
Yeah, even less, because it's the least invulnerability a backdash has is 4 frames, which is shared by Remelia and Aya. So that's like the worst backdash you can have. Most backdashes have around 6 frames or 9 frames. Remelia's forward dash also has 2 frames of invulnerability. I think I'm like at the 7th frame, 9th frame. I don't know.
Can you tell me a little bit about her buttons? Like how do you apply each of her attacks like into typical gameplay, like typical Remelia gameplay? What is your goal with them?
Okay, the buttons. You have, I should talk about the big ones first. Like J2A. J2 is the move everyone knows. Like the really fat downwards claw. It's good for good for a lot of things. Like whenever you pressure someone, you can just throw it out and cross someone up. If your spacing is good, you can just throw it out and wake up, and it's like an instant 50-50. In neutral, it's really fat, so it can catch a lot of people. And if it catches with counter hit, it gives that really infamous 2.5k combo, or the 3k for the people with good execution. It's just a really big button.
It can be crouched, though.
The problem is that it can be low profiled. Like Alexander, for example, is really good at low profiling J2A. Like the other day we were playing, and he did like a micro low profile where he crouched for like half a second, and that was like just enough to touch my J2A, and then he punished me really hard. Also, J2A is kind of dangerous to spam because it does landing lag, like 10 frames or something. Like if you just land and they recover, you just have even landing lag. And also if you move J2A, you'll probably land. Because even the move is kind of really laggy. But still a good button. Especially for the cross-up properties. Industorm is deadly. J6A is an infamous button. I personally spam J6A a lot. It's really safe in most situations.
J6A on block like creates a huge gap though. There's like no punishing it on most characters. Like I think Patchouli can sometimes hit with the
if he gets blocked, Remelia bounces back really far. She has to recover, but she bounces back too far for it, like any character to do anything about it. Though she can block after bouncing back. I don't know how many people know that, but Remelia cannot block after bouncing back. Unless she like cancels it.
Iron? I think you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I know it's kind of dying. The sound is easy dead.
No! Come back,
Iron.
We got nothing without iron. Oh no.
It's okay. We can say we got this. We got this.
Okay, so just like say you can block, and it's actually pretty damn slow. You can also cancel stuff like It's actually an interesting battle because if you're G6A, you can't do anything. You can't do spells, bullet skills. You can't do anything, and it seems you can't even block. Wow.
There's something interesting about J6A. The setup for it, because J6A will attack at a down forward angle.
Mm-hmm.
You can use J6D above the opponent to sort of nothing personal kid them with J6A. And that's like a pretty standard Remelia air setup that I see. Because most bullets just go forward, so you can just graze through them super fast, and you'll hit them with J6A before the bullet. Even if it's like homing, you'll hit them before they can even react to it, basically.
Just 1 second, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
And finally with Genki in a voice chat. I'm so happy right now.
Well, we need someone, so whatever. The show must go on. So, we don't have Iron who died, so you can continue from where he was if you want to.
So, which attack?
We were talking about how G6A basically works.
Yes, it's A. It's pretty safe, almost always. But there are some problems in some matchups, for example, against Iku. Because she can just J6C and punish you. And also against other Remelias. Because if the other Remelia has a Gangnir, she will punish you with it. And it's like 5k of damage, and that's a lot. It's basically a suicide to use it against other Remelia.
So basically, it's an unsafe move that you can punish only with really specific tools, like spell cards or something similar.
Yeah, but there's also other thing. It's extremely unsafe when Remelia does it near corner.
Yeah.
You can punish it. You can punish that with almost any character, I think.
If it's in
Not
corner?
sure. Not sure if you can
her
punish
back
that
is
with
facing-
Sanae.
If her back is facing the wall, you mean?
Yes. It's extremely unsafe. Just in that moment.
I can see that being the case, honestly, as you bounce off and your opponent doesn't really get pushed far, so you can probably jump on Remelia at that point.
Yes, it's basically that. And that's all, at least with that move.
Okay, so we covered like J6A and J2A. Outside of like her basic kit, I don't think there's really much worth mentioning because I find that her J8A is really just an anti-air, like to get somebody out of the ceiling. If they're ceiling hugging,
I think
that's the attack you use.
I think that we need to talk a little about the 3A.
Oh, 3A, okay.
Yeah, because at least I have seen that there are a lot of people that are matching it at point blank, and that's pretty bad because it's unsafe. It's unsafe for you, but it's extremely safe for Remelia, at least on ground block. And just that's basically all the other things that Remelia has are like, I don't know, pretty simple, I think.
In 2A, I remember that being an air unblockable. How do you force this air unblockable though? Is there anything specific that you like to set up?
As an AUB setup, you mean?
Yes.
Well, the normal combo for Remelia, J5AA, J5AA, and another J5AA. I usually don't do the last J5A. And instead of that, I do a 4A to get the AUB setup. But just that it's almost useless, to be honest. But I really like to do them. I think that Iron should try to do them too.
I rarely see the air unblockable setup from him, but I mean, I feel like you two kind of have like different play styles. Like, is there any differences between how like you play Remelia versus how Iron plays Remelia? Because I'm actually curious about that. Because I mean, I see it all the same. I'm fighting a Remelia, you know.
People usually say that I am a bad Remilia because I'm the one that plays most different, in a most different way. But I think that Iron, Ran, and Master plays in exactly the same way. The three of them. It's like an style that's very aggressive, but also like they like to spam DP and things like that, and I really don't like that. Hazeline is different too, I think, because she plays most. She tries to do more cross-ups. At least in the last time I played against her, and I used to stay in corner waiting for for a mistake of the opponent.
I'm back.
And Iron is back. What a great day!
Let me just fix this layout really quick. Go ahead and continue.
Let me become 5.
Well, you guys can continue from where you were.
What did
We're
Nanyako
stopping.
explain?
So we're talking about how G6A works and some general stuff. I guess we kind of went over that, and we talk about how 3A works and how up close can be kind of bad if right blocked.
I think that the last time we need to talk about Remedia's moveset is the delay between J5A and J5AA. There's a little delay there. Go Iron, say something about that.
I mean, the second J5A is really fast. You have 5 frames to start up individually. So like, how much you delay it? It's completely up to Remilia, and you can actually delay it a lot. It's a really good mix-up for air pressure. I don't know.
Also a great corner carry.
Yeah, it's also a really good corner carry. Whenever you just land both J5As, you can just do it 2 more times.
Alright. That also generates a lot of respect from the opponent, so probably the opponent will wait for the second J5AA.
Yeah.
So you can do their AUV setup, and that's like a Gangnir punish, for example, or a normal combo.
Yeah, Remilia also has 2A, which is the really big honor blockable. It's not as good as people think normally, because 2A also has like an extended hurt box on both on startup and on recovery.
And the enemy lag is massive.
And it also doesn't have too many active frames, but the hitbox is big. It's actually really big. You can catch a lot of people with it. And combined with like Remilia's really fast walk, it actually is a really good move.
It's like Marth's movement speed, his walk speed, I swear. It's so fast.
Yeah. Remilia has the second fastest walk speed in the game, tied with Cherno. But Cherno doesn't walk much because she has a really good dash.
Oh wait,
which one is the fastest then?
Mei is faster.
Mei
is faster, right? 6.5 and Remilia is 6. Cherno is also 6. And then there's a bunch of characters at 5.5.
Okay, do you want to touch base a little bit more on how this character, like, you think should be played, or do you think you like covered it?
Okay, I don't exactly know how like it should be played, because I've seen a lot of playstyles work. I've seen like Blaze Wildman himself just throw himself around the screen, and it kind of works. Blaze, I don't know, but I think the popular one, at least here in the West, that has worked, like the Nanyako style and the Iron Other Idiot style. It's like I don't know what I try to do. I'm impatient, but what I try to do is like try to play like a little bit patient, like try to stay away, use 2-1-4, use 5C, try just to look for like the opportunity to get in. But then once I get it, I try to use Remilia's pressure as much as I can, because I personally find Remilia has top 3 pressure in the game, if not the best.
Really? Do you want to start getting into pressure now?
I could get into pressure.
Yeah, the pressure, Remilia pressure is definitely something that confuses a lot of new players, definitely.
Confuses a lot of people, and like people who start playing Remilia and people who fight Remilia. It's no, not many people really know how it works. Like, first of all, if once you're in the thing with Vermilion, like, I think the basic thing is that she has a really strong corner game. So like, okay, she has a really strong corner game. Then I should just take away. But if you're in mid screen, she also has a bunch of cross-ups. So it's like really dangerous on either side. Because if you're in the corner, you can't escape, and if you're in mid screen, you start getting crossed up like everywhere. Because J2A crosses up.
Yeah, the J2A cross up is definitely.
You can go over people with J5A and instantly 5A behind them. If you can, with Remilia's really fast walk speed, you can also walk cross up over the opponent's roll spot, and that's also really dangerous. Because a lot of these cross ups, like if you get a cross up starting with J5A, that's a free Gungnir or Grappler Cradle.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's either a 2K combo off the counter hit, or you just go straight into Gungnir, which is what, 4K?
Gungnir is over 4K on the good combos.
That's such
4.5.
4.5 on the really good combos, yeah. With Dial A, it's 4.5.
I feel like on cross up J2A though, you don't really get much unless it's Diamond Dust.
You don't really get much use. Cross up J2A is it's good because it's free, but it's also not bad. It's also doesn't. You just get like 800 damage, and you have to guess again where they're gonna attack, and you're not exactly in the best spot, but it's still really good.
Huh.
So like, yeah, on mid screen you get crossed up a lot, and Remilia also has a really decent or nice corner carry with like J2B and 3A. And like Space 3A, which is plus. Like if you do a max range 2A and then delay it a bit and do a 3A, they cannot high jump that, and they also hits a Space 3A that is plus on right block really easily.
So you kind of just have to really space this 3A then in order to implement it into your pressure strings. Do you have like example pressure strings that you would use in game? Let's say mid screen for now. How do you use this 3A?
Mid screen.
Mid screen pressure?
Yeah, mid screen you can try to cross them up to the. There's like a bunch of like setups using Remilia's set flight or just J2A, flying or dashing over someone using J5A to like. J5A that cancels all the landing recovery on dash, so it makes it extremely quick, so you can just dash over someone and like 50-50 where you're gonna land and then dial A. Versus some characters, when they block J2A, you also end up behind them, like Yuko is a very common one, so you also do a dial A cross up there. And if you're not crossing up, you can, if you have Gungnir, you can also cross in mid-screen. Like, there's not many characters that can crush mid-screen, like straight up. Like Yukari's, I think the best one at crushing mid-screen because of Ran, which just traps you in whatever distance you're in. But Remilia also has 6A, 5B. I think on the clips I sent you, there's a mid-screen crush pressure. I think I called it.
Yes. Let me
Crush
find that
setup.
really quick. Just go ahead and continue watching this.
Like, okay, 3A is like really dangerous because if you ROM block it, it's a free reset. Like Remilia only has 2 lows, but both of her lows are really dangerous, especially 3A because it's literally just a free reset with an Orb Blast. So most of the time, most people like prefer to block low. But even if you block low, Remilia also has 6A is like not a bad move at all because 6A is airtight into 5B, which 1 pushes them really far, and 2, 6A 5B is airtight into Gungnir. And the good thing about 6A 5B in mid screen, and the good thing about 6A 5B Gungnir is that you can react. You can like do 6A, throw out 5B, and while you're throwing 5B, you can react if it was a wrong block or not, and then and then throw out Gungnir. And that setup does 3.5 orbs, I think, if I'm not wrong. With the wrong block, which is or 4 orbs if they don't be Gungnir, but most of the time it's 3.5 orbs. So like if they're like an orb down and then like if they have like 3 orbs or 3.5 or less, you can just throw a 6A and destroy their orbs. I was just showing on the video that it was airtight.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's kind of weird. I just had to. It took a while to set that up because it's a weapon format.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, web ends are a bit of a pain in the ass.
So yeah, it's 3 orbs to 3 point something orbs. Depends on how many people it's hit. Sometimes if they crouch, a bit less can hit depending on the character. So yeah, Rumelia can just crush you mid-screen with Gungnir if you wrong block like twice. Which is really easy to do with like 2A, J2A, her J5A, her 3A, which is free reset. She has a decent high-low game. Maybe not as good as like, I don't know, Yukari, who it's really hard to know if you're gonna like, she's gonna do high-low. But like, hey, she gets a lot of reward from her high-lows at least. I guess that's mid-screen. You can also just push them with J2V and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
J5A.
J2B is kind of a corner carry technique. You kind of just... I feel like you kind of want to run Gungnir in just about every deck, just because of the 3 orbs it offers you, and just the crush potential is huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gungnir deals 2.5 orbs on block, but the 5th hit, I mean, you can be the 4th hit, so most of the time you don't count the 5th hit in pressure.
Okay. What about what is Remelia's goal for pressure and corner? I feel like her corner pressure game is a little bit different because she what I noticed is she typically staggers like maybe 2 4As, and then she goes into like one of 3 or 4 different things. So that's like a D6 J2A. That's like a D6 J2C. Am I correct in saying this?
Yeah, I think the most basic goal for Remelia in like the corner is just keep them in the corner. You don't really want to crush them. You just want to keep them there forever. Like if they catch like any escape attempts and do pressure that like cannot be escaped without taking big risks, I guess is a good term. And just do that until you get Gungnir. Just build meter until you get Gungnir, and then crush them with Gungnir, and then do it again.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's for me. And even if you don't have Gungnir, like you can also use you can stagger like actually for a really long time, because just doing dash J5A it resets itself. Like
yeah, I think I saw Nanyako do that in last either Soku set or just a tournament recently where he fought somebody. Maybe it was Fran. I think it was Fran versus Nanyako, where he just did D6 J5A and kept doing it because Fran didn't know how to.
I have no idea how to deal with that.
You
were bullying me because I was on 2 hours of sleep and I've been up for like 23.
You can just repeat it a lot and it builds meter. So you can just go from no cards, from just building to just full meter.
So you
can
you can walk out of it, yeah.
Of course.
You just press 6.
You can also match that.
I know you can mash, but it depends. Like,
well, I know that I could have done many things there.
Like some characters like Oku and Yuko cannot walk out of it because they're too high, too tall.
No, they can.
Oku can.
I figured they were like
Oku
really
can.
tall.
Oku can dash out of it because her collision box becomes smaller on dash, but she can walk out of it. And even if she can, it's kind of weird because she's stuck in like blockstone from use. Because versus Soku, you do J5AA, 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 and like the only thing she can really do if you repeat that forever is like wrong block the second J5A to make the next J5A with, and then for it.
Wow, really? I didn't think about that because I keep forgetting that wrong block causes like a little bit of pushback. So
No, it's not the pushback. It's because if you try to crouch, you're gonna get fussied and you're gonna get bodied. So you have to wrong block to avoid the fussy. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, the fuzzy concept is still kind of like, a little fuzzy in my mind, because what is so good about the fuzzy that causes this to your pressure to fail? Like, what's going on here?
I mean, like, if they try to, like... Okay, let's say they block, like, J5AA, and they try to crouch the next J5A, yeah, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're gonna be changed to low block, but the character has crouching, like, animation. It's, like, I guess it's the right way to say it transitions between standing and crouching. But you have this standing hitbox, but you're blocking low. So you're gonna wrong block the J5A, and then the Remelia is gonna be able to cancel into the second J5A, and you're gonna wrong block that too, and that's like two orbs down instantly. And then she can react to the wrong block and just start doing other pressure instead of trying to do another J5A.
That seems like a lot of technical information.
But like if you wrong block the second hit of Dilate, like if you wrong block before Remelia does the J5A, you already transition to low block and with the crouching hitbox.
Okay.
So then you can low profile the next J5A because you can't react to the. It's too fast to react to the wrong block to not do J5A. But it's kind of a prediction play for when Remelia just does J5A forever. That's like something Oku can do, and maybe Iku. I'm not sure. No, Iku can just dash out or walk out. Not sure.
Dash out.
Dash out, yeah.
Doesn't she have some kind of corner pressure mix-ups? Like, I feel like whenever she does like a 4A stagger, and then she goes into D6, it's like, I expect like one of two things. It's either J2A or J2C, and if it's a J2A, I know that I need the border escape. But the thing is, I'm waiting for that border escape, so sometimes they just throw out a J2C instead, and then I'm forced to block there for just a little bit longer. And if I border escape the J2C, well then I get kind of fucked for it.
Yeah, J2A is a very known Remelia escape spot, so what I do is I don't use J2A.
Okay.
I spam J2A in pressure.
So it's
Nanyako spams J2A in pressure, and I need to abuse that. I don't abuse that. Like, look at the... Can you put the corner pressure core? Something like that?
Yeah, sure.
Like, that shows, like, the sample strengths that I use in game a lot. Like, I think something really strong Remelia can do is J just, like, after she does, like, one of her bazillion J5A resets, like, she uses, I don't know, dash J5A, she can, at any point, once she lands, she can jump and J2C. And this, if they block J2C, they cannot do anything. They actually cannot do anything once they block. Because the only way to beat the J2C is to predict a Grace or to do a predicted B.
So
Both
yeah, it does require some
plays.
premeditation to kind of avoid this pressure setup then.
Yeah, they're both predicted plays.
But sadly, it's a little easy to predict that.
I mean, when you spam it as much as me, it's kind of easy, but...
Yes,
Really,
and you can also escape with a
fact
6B.
6B. What do you mean a 6B? Oh, 6D. Yeah, of course. You can Grace, which is predictive, or you can high jump, which is predictive.
Or a border escape. That
Which
also works.
No. It depends. It has to be It has to be a very early border escape. A predicted border escape, because if you try to react on border escape, you're gonna get caught by J5AA. You cannot border escape J2C late.
Okay, I think that just about covers pressure, unless there's one last thing you want to add to it. Because the next thing we're going to talk about is a little bit about how Remelia's Okizeme works, and I think you actually have some setups prepared for this.
Okay,
Yeah.
sense.
Like J5, yeah, you just wanna like stagger a lot with like J5A. You can when they're blocking high, you control a 3A for an orb and a free reset. F5A is a really good mix-up, I guess. I don't use it not as much as I should, but it's a really fast low, and Remilia almost doesn't have lows, and you can reset it into itself, but it's mashable. But you have to be very courageous, I guess, to mash that.
So you gotta be brave to mash
very
that.
little people mash F5A. I don't know. You just do a lot of that pressure. Maybe you crush them, maybe you don't, and then you build Gungnir, and then you crush them with Gungnir. Everything's tied into Gungnir. 3A, Fix A, Dial A, 236. Don't use 236. Yeah. 5C. So I guess that's corner pressure. I guess now it's.
Did you have anything else?
Nanyako, do you want to explain your mid-screen god string that I still can't comprehend?
But that is not normal pressure. It's not even pressure.
It's the Nanyako.
Well, in mid screen, it's a J2A and J2C, and after that, a dash over to your opponent and go back quickly.
J66 D4, like that.
Yes, and that will cause that the J5AA is gonna be a cross up.
It's actually very ambiguous where she hits you from. She like dashes over you, but then goes back over your head, and then you cannot tell which way she's gonna J5A your way from. And even if you block it, she can do a 6D J2A that auto cross-ups after that.
Well, hold on. How many air dashes does Remilia have?
Two.
Oh, okay. It felt like, when he said she was going back and forth like 3 times, it was like, wait,
you use both your you use both of your air dashes. You hit them with like dash J2C. I mean dash J2A J2C, and then you go over them with like an air dash, and then go back with like a flight, and then you do like, and then it's kind of ambiguous where you're gonna end up.
And you can repeat that.
Yeah, and then and you can repeat it. Because after the J5AA, you can do a J2A, which either crosses up, or you can just do it again. And the solution is to be J2A, obviously.
Not really.
Yeah. Even if you be J2A, with the flight back and forth, sometimes Remilia can J8A.
Yes, that's the solution.
Okay, so Okizeme.
Yeah, Okizeme. So let's say you find yourself you got a combo. You got, I don't know, maybe a 3K mid screen or whatever, and
you got whatever combo. 3K is kind of rare for Remilia, a low damage character.
I'm just saying. So let's say you landed. You're basically in B. It's got a limit. What is your main approach for Okizeme? What do you typically do when they're at a distance?
The main one should be the TK chains, I think.
TK chains.
Is that right, guy? Yes, that should be the best one.
TK chains is really good.
But that should be the... Not sure if it's the best one. I prefer to do other thing.
I don't like doing TK chains because one, mess up the input, and two, if you do chains, it makes people dash more.
Yeah, it does, but then you can catch them out more, right? Because it adds another layer. Like, everybody knows that, yeah, the D214 is Oki. It works out decently well. But the chains, if you can actually get them to block that, you either force them to tech out to where you can cross them up, or they're stuck in the corner and they either graze or they eat like 3 or 4 orbs or something. It's like 2 or 3 orbs if you get a good chain.
I think that is 3 orbs.
Yeah, but isn't the main reason why you do it because you force them to tech out?
Yeah, you just force them to tech out, and if they tech in, it's kind of a bad life choice.
Yeah, and if they tech out, then you can cross them up with J2A and all that stuff. Yeah. So it is... that's my thoughts on why it's good. And that's why it's used more than D214. Because
other setups, there are some actually really easy setups for most characters. Like, when you're starting Remilia, one really easy setup that works versus most matchups is just doing the legendary 1A option select. Which is
one
like
is that?
It's when you stand at like 2A distance, and you press 1A. If they don't tech, 2A comes out and covers neutral tech. If they do tech, you do 3A instead because they went behind you, and now your 1A became 3A, and you do a space 3A, which is plus.
So this is kind of a timed Okizeme technique then.
Sounds horrible. In fact,
I don't know.
It's easy. It's easy and simple.
Ran 33 had something similar in terms of like Okizeme theory, where he would time his Okizeme versus certain characters depending on, and it worked on how many 4A presses he did. So,
I remember he did like
that was like really
he
cool.
like killed frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine is more like reaction based. You simplify all execution and you just react, and or sometimes not even react because it's literally the timing. You don't have to react actually because 1A, the 1A option select, you just wait until they tech and then you press the button, and it covers both options regardless of what they do.
If it's an optional select, won't that be automatic?
It's automatic, and you don't need to react. It's actually automatic. I think you need to react because on some matchups the timing is kind of different. Like versus Yukari, I use it, but if they tech into the corner, like roll into the corner, it messes up my timing so hard because I'm waiting for like the neutral tech timing.
I see.
And IROC actually abuses this a lot because I'm really bad at chasing Yukari tech, so I actually do use that Oki a lot. So he abused that a lot. But yeah, that's like really easy. That's like the 1A option select. That's what we call it.
So just one more thing about chains. When you're setting them up, what's the timing on it? Like at what point should you start using the chains? Like when the enemy is knocked onto the ground?
When the opponent touches the ground.
Okay, so when they touch the ground, you should have the chains starting up. So
so they start spinning on their body.
You could try to do them a little earlier to get a cross up and wake up if they tech.
Because then you can high jump cancel it, right? If you do it on the ground.
Yeah, actually, the something sick you can do is you can do TK chains, which is like popular against good people, and you do you do chains like on the air but barely on the air, and it just once you finish putting the chains, it auto land cancels, so it has barely any recovery. Kind of really good. And also, if you do TK chains, the chains spin at a better angle, and you get more orbs.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about how we can pressure as Remilia, and once you get a knockdown, how you can set up your Okizeme to force them into a cross up or into your pressure again. But what happens if you lose neutral? How do you
wait for your chance?
You're now in the ground.
So is there some special way to defend against Remilia, though?
Defend against Remilia?
Defend as
or
Remilia?
You meant as
Remilia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the first thing I'd point out, though, is her tech speed. That's so fast. How do you Okizeme Remilia? I feel like that's a defensive technique.
Her tech speed is actually... Remilia has the fastest tech out of anybody.
It has, the fastest tech, actually. I think Blaze often, when asked, how do you Okizeme Remilia, Blaze just says, hey, just guess, Lamau.
I've actually seen that a lot in his replays. Blaze will just completely guess where Remilia is going to tech. He'll usually just go for a cross-up J2A. He'll just either go backward.
With how fast it is, I really cannot find a lot of setups for most characters.
Well, aside from a meaty melee, but then again, you sort of open yourself up. If you can't set up with bullets, then you have to 50-50 for either the DP or the 236, right?
Yeah, I believe. Okay, I said Remilia has top 3 pressure. Okay, I believe like Remily has unquestionably top 1 defense in the game.
Yeah.
Like it's the best defense in the game. She has too many tools.
That's right. I mean, her walk speed's fast. Her tech speed is disgustingly fast.
She has a really good short. It's a short tech, but it's really good.
Yeah. And the
really
DP, the 236, it has Graze on frame 1.
Yeah, frame 1 Grace attack, which is actually kind of fast and has a good hitbox. And it also low profile.
It's air unblockable, right?
No, it's not air blockable.
Oh, it's not? Oh.
But most of the time when people air block it, they're just gonna land mindlessly into a 2A anyways. Honestly. Also, 236 low profiles. A lot.
Yeah. That is something I've noticed.
Yeah, sometimes when I just press 236 because I'm expecting a bullet, they like come at me with like a J5A and like, oh, I messed up. But then it just low profiles and I trade. And I'm like, oh, nice. Then, oh yeah, she also has the best RB in the game.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah, the Airbnb is just the Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Oh my god!
Actually, stupidly fast.
It is. It's fast and it travels a ridiculous distance.
It travels a ridiculous. It's like a Tempest air dash.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
I think it's almost the same as a Tempest air dash. It's really fast. Sometimes you go through people because of how fast you're going. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And also it has a nice downwards angle. Something most bees have like a horizontal or slight upwards angle. Remilia's bee has a downwards angle, which is pretty different from most bees. And that also makes it really good for escaping air pressure. Like, even if you're stuck in pressure, you can just air block a lot of the time and then get out by just abusing that really dumb air bee. Okay. Also, Remilia has good pokes. She has 4A, which is kind of big, and it's 7 frames, which is really fast. It's as fast as Oku 4A. It's unblockable, and also if she's holding Dracula Cradle, you can convert any of those pokes into a 4.5k combo by just doing 4A Dracula Cradle. She also has a nice reversal. It's kind of slow, but it also has a really late spell flash, so it kind of evens out.
Yeah. She and her poke, or 4A poke, goes and confirms into 5 card for like 4.5k or whatever, 4.5K. Right? And it's a pretty fast poke. Her 4A is like
frames.
7
frames, as fast as Oku 4A.
It's not the fastest 4A. I think that's meleeing with a 6 frame, but the hitbox is it's actually larger than her F5A, her 5A.
It's a really far hitbox. It reaches actually pretty far, and it's also really fat. So you can't really low profile it either. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It wouldn't be that bad because it would just be a normal mash if you couldn't just convert that into the 5 card, because then you can't. You have to do tight pressure against Remilia, because if you get mashed out, then you're now being pressured and you've lost half of your health bar.
Yeah. And actually, another cool thing you can do is like you can do 4A and press Cradle preemptively, I guess.
Yeah, that is something. I mean, you don't really want to do that though, do you?
No, you do. Oh. Because although it depends, but you do, because if you do 4A and you press Cradle like preemptively, if you do it well timed, if you whiff your 4A, Cradle doesn't come out.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you can also do it with other characters.
But what if they block it? So you'd be
the only bad situation is when they block it.
But it's air unblockable like most.
Yeah, it's air unblockable, so you can just mash it versus someone in the air if you think it's gonna hit. Or if you're like in the middle of pressure and you know they're not gonna block, like you don't have DP or you just know they're not gonna block. They're just doing dumb staggers. Like, oh, my staggers are invincible. Use
Yes,
press
I
for
checked,
a cradle.
Blaze.
Is that the real Blaze Dragon?
Yes.
So Byron.
So we're gonna need you when we reach skill cards and we need reach Vampire Call. So yeah, she also has a reversal, and she has her Grace attack combos into Gungnir. So Romelia just literally can reverse your momentum really easily.
Yeah, definitely. She can reverse your momentum. One of the reasons she's such a strong character. I've noticed this. The highest tier characters, I guess, they all have the ability to just like use the shit out of their meter while they're pressuring, and they can use that either as Okizeme or some ridiculous setup. Like I don't know that Raisin. I mean that. She can do like LOE and stuff. Remelia has Gungnir. Yuyuko has the Time Bomb. There's the top tier characters like Sakuya. Well, I mean, of course she's got Killing Bomb.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
But all of these top tier characters, they all have that in common. They can use their meter as either Okizeme or pressure tools.
They have really strong meter tools. Is the thing. Like you can.
Yeah, they're really strong meter tools, and Remelia definitely has strong meter tools.
Yeah, Remelia has really strong meter. The biggest weakness in the biggest weakness of like Remelia meter, I guess, is that all of her good stuff is expensive. She has like almost no good low cost spells.
But then there's also the thing of how much do you really need all these other things? Because you have ridiculously good defense, so you don't need to worry about defensive cards that much. I mean, against a really good player, of course you do. But
They're nice because
You
Remelia.
don't want to end up eating your own cards either. Like, if you have like one Cradle and then the rest are Cradles and Gongnirs, well, that's kind of fucked up because.
Yeah, because then, where did they all go? But then you just want to force Mountain Vapor, reshuffle the whole damn hand. But
And of course, defensive cards are still good because with how fast Remy walks, she can really make use of like Coin, for example. Hangeki also. Hangeki with Remelia, with how fast Remelia moves, you can Hangeki on like the corner, like you're in the corner, like getting corner pressured, but you Hangeki them. And then you can just high jump and air dash over to the other corner and start pressuring them. And if they're neutral tech, if they neutral tech, they cannot escape.
I think she can. I think she has a chance to explode quickly without all these defense cards as well, just because of the wake up and stuff. And she can't really graze forward. So I'm sure there's strings that we haven't really tried out where like you take advantage of Remelia not being able to dash forward. She still has the B, of course, but going under things isn't an option.
It's not an option. It's not an option. So that's a thing I was gonna say about Remelia's like weaknesses, I guess. Like the biggest one big weakness is that even though her tech is like really fast, it's also kind of short, so it's kind of easy to set up a wall cross up on her. And if you do set up a wall cross on her, I think Remelia is like probably the most susceptible character to wall cross-ups, where you just walk over your opponent's tech spot and then it's a 50-50 if you do it correctly. And even if you don't, some players are kind of bad and just eat it anyways. So it's just kind of really weak to wall cross-ups. And also, she, like Blaze said, because of the way her dash works, she cannot like go under stuff like Yomu or Marisa can, or even other characters that even if they don't have great forward dashes, they can still go under stuff. For Remelia, her forward dash is literally just like a different angle, high jump 9, I guess is a way to put it. So Remelia only has like upwards escape options. I think if Waterdew was once abusing this with Patchouli a bit. I don't remember much though. But yeah, she only has one escape direction. I guess those would be like the two main defense weaknesses of Remelia.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, I suppose is there anything else to add as far as defense goes?
I think I've covered almost everything.
Okay, well we can go into the card discussion then. If we're talking about skill cards that we want to use, which ones would you? What kind of deck would you want to tell a beginner Amelia to use?
Oh, I didn't prepare a sample deck.
Should we something with the
Okay, first of all, Gungnir.
chains, I guess.
Chains and Gungnir. The Gungnir is good as
4
when you're-
Gungnir's.
4 Gungnir's. Just 4 Gungnir's.
I
Too
don't know
good.
about chains though. I think that's a little. It's a
I
little.
mean, chains
hard
are kind of hard to use, honestly.
I guess you could just tell them to start learning the chain combos early on. That way
Yeah.
they don't. Yeah.
They don't suffer later.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you're talking about beginner decks, it's like decks that are made so beginners can play them easily, and those that can like benefit them on the long run, I guess, right? So
Yeah.
Or
There's also-
instead of chains, they could use Servant Flyer or Trickster Devil.
Yeah, Servant Flyer. No, don't use Trickster Devil. Don't use
No,
Trickster
no,
Devil
I
as a
mean-
beginner.
We are talking about beginners against other beginners,
No.
so I think that Trickster Devil is literally the best one, and
No,
it's
Trickster
even
Devil-
better.
It's
Dude,
good
it's
when you're
even
bad.
better.
No. It's good when you're bad, but it also develops terrible habits.
But it's like a 5k combo with Gungnir.
Yeah, but still, it's terrible habits. It's super easy to use, but it will develop horrible habits. And you also want to learn how to use 2/6, which is actually really good. So yeah, you want Gungnir.
No, wait. Oh, I think that also Dinner Fork is good.
You want DP. You always want DP. DP's
I
god.
like the dinner fork, yeah.
Dinner Fork is good. Yeah, all two, and then you really just have free choice. Just don't put the bad cards, and you're good.
I will say that you don't have so many choice.
On
Because,
spells,
for example,
yeah, you don't have
at
many
least
choices for
in
spells.
spells, it's almost always 4 Gangnirs. And after that, anything you want. But in skill cards, it's basically your favorite 2 and 4, and some other thing with some defensive cards.
I think you want your favorite 2-1-4, a way to limit off J2A, DP, and then just Gungnir, and then whatever spell you want or systems.
I think it
on
ends
this-
up being like
yeah.
2 skill. It ends up being like the Remelia ends up with like 2 alternate skill cards, or at least 2 leveled, two leveled skills. By the time it gets to the second or third round or something like that, the rest is then used on spell cards.
Yeah, it's just use one spell per fuel mostly. On the screen right now, it's like the Remelia beginner deck on the Remelia server at least, which just has Hangekis, which are really good with Remelia because you get pressure off them. You have Gungnir, Cradle, both are really easy to use.
Sailing Fair.
Sealing Fear is kind of bad. I hate it. It's terrible, but it's
Yeah,
also
but for some
easy to
reason,
use.
For some reason, the beginner Remedias has it in their deck.
It's an easy way to limit off J to 8A. Used to J5A, J8A, Sailing Fear, and it limits.
I think it just has like this dumb bug where like sometimes you hit the first part and then the second part just goes nowhere. I hate that. I think that's the reason why I cut the card.
Yeah. Okay, this is like beginner, but you can also use Chain and start learning Chain already because Chain is really good. Also really easy to use, and you get free J. Well, no, not free. They're kind of hard to. No, actually, they're easy J8A Chain combos. I did when I was a beginner, where I just did J5A J8A Chain,
J5A, J2A.
No, J2A, but I also what I did was J5A J8A Chain, J5A J8A Chain, and the Chain limited. I was really shitty, dealt like 1k or some shit, but it limited.
I mean, you can't really finish some air block strings without. You can't really get the last crush sometimes, and I think the Sealing Fear can
Well, Silent Fear has a little bit of a small layer.
It is a melee. It is a melee option after an air hit, so it always has one advantage over Chain. And I guess in the matches where Chain doesn't really get the Okizeme and stuff, and you'd rather run something like Forks or some shit or Servant Flyer.
Yeah. So yeah, Ceiling Fear is supposedly when you don't want to run chains, you run Ceiling Fear to limit up JDA. So
But
yeah,
I think
guess
that we should. Some people shouldn't use Ceiling Fair because when you use Ceiling Fair, you are actually giving up your default 2-2, and that one is pretty good. In its sprinkle, at least, it's like 3K.
The young Nanyako tactics. Yeah, I actually spam the Trickster in.
Two is pretty nice leveled up.
I mean, not
isn't it?
Trickster. Yeah, two leveled up is actually really fast, and it deals huge damage.
I think the risk is worth it, honestly. And plus, like, not every character gets like full combos. I guess on a punish on Tutu. I'm not
And
sure
also,
actually.
and also
hard
it's
to
good
beat
as
with-
combo ender.
Yeah, it also can work as a combo ender. You get a small damage boost off it, depending on if you do like me when your back is to the corner.
200.
100.
200.
Oh, it I didn't know it boosted damage. I thought he just did it so he could just like
No,
freaking aim.
and also it's a great corner carry.
It gives alright corner carry for it because the combo will just drop them the mid screen anyway, so it gives
No.
corner carry, I guess.
I
No,
don't
I
know.
mean the JNA finisher will just drop them on the mid screen, so you use you use
I feel like the most important part is the part that you put them on the wall and then they drop down, so it can be like pretty cool weather control right there.
Yeah, it also gives a different finisher, so you can vary your weather control from 1 to 2 knockdowns. Okay, so I think that's about at least for decks. No, I don't know if you want to talk about individual skills.
I think that we should try to speak a little about the grab and maybe the vampire keys.
And we can start with the 6-3s, like the alt ones, so we can get them out of the way.
I don't know.
This
Like,
awful.
besides the grab, I actually don't know the other one.
Wow,
Vampire
it's the
Kiss-
combo
Vampire
video
Kiss
one.
and what was the other 63?
The one in Old Stack, the rocket kick
Oh.
copper.
Oh, that thing. Oh,
It looks like a good anti-air, but I mean,
yeah. It's just I never see it, so but I do remember the image of it.
Actually,
It might be.
if you know Vincent,
It might be better than grab, I think.
I think Vincent's the
probably
only one
better
I've
than
seen
Grab.
use that.
Is the thing is you have chain for anti-air anyway, so.
Yeah, but it combos with 4A, right?
Oh, your combos of 4A. That's some
Yes.
value right there.
It's also tight.
No, actually, only combos off anti-air 4A.
Yeah. It's also tight into like Scarlet Devil, I think.
Yeah, it's on tall characters. Tall characters get hit by it, and it's airtight into Gungnir and Scarlet Devil. Which is dumb, but I guess it has like half an orb or something.
It's an upper kick. It's the Amelia where she like kicks the air and then some
Rocket kick
arrow
upper where
thing.
she kicks
Yeah.
a really fast big projectile upwards. Which is like exclusively an anti-air. Also, do you know
That's
that
really
if you air block it, it can deal like up to 2 orbs. So like if someone's like at 3 orbs or something in the air, you can do.
Actually,
like
now that I'm seeing like Sanai on the screen, what can you just use it versus Sanai?
it's good versus
Kinda
an eye. It's
fancy
like
to
one of
see.
the
No,
few.
it's bad versus an eye.
It's
Why?
decent
Try
versus
to
an
use
eye.
it.
Oh, the stars eat it or something?
I actually don't know the density of it. I need to check it. I know so little about this skill besides the meme setups.
Wait, what was it bad, Nanyako?
You
What
tried?
was it bad? Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to use it against Bane. I don't know the name.
Fossilade.
Yeah, that one. And it was horrible. So I changed to chains to get
Yeah,
a better results.
Why was it horrible though? Like, where did it go wrong?
Where did it go wrong?
you can actually catch Sanae with that. That was mainly the main problem.
Oh, you can penetrate to A to C?
Yes, you can.
Okay, here I have it. Rocket Kick Upper is... Where is it? Is B4. It can eat up to 4 stars. I mean, it eats 4 stars and then disappears.
Alright, you can destroy Dragon's Eye with that.
Yeah, until Iku levels it to level 3.
Level 3, until level 3.
I guess that's some meme value, too. But yeah, Rocket Kick Upper, it's a lot weird anti-air, only really works a bit versus Sanae, a bit versus Suwako. Chains do better anyways. And it's good for combo videos, it looks really sick. You can combo 4A. It's versus Oku and maybe Yuko. You can use it on the ground to gain like half an orb for meme value. And if you air block it, it can deal like 2 orbs. If you air block it somehow. So you can like J5A land, Rocket Kick Upper, and then like Bad Lady Scramble, and that deals like, I don't know, 4 orbs? Because Bad Lady Scramble deals a little bit of 1 orb on air block, I think. So that's Rocket Kick Upper. You also have...
Okay, now the grab.
Now the grab!
What's the start on that one again? It feels like
Slow?
22. It feels like 22 or something.
Literally forever. You can high jump this whenever you see it.
It cannot hit people on the air. And it also can't hit people on the jump startup, so if you press 7, you're... yeah, even at like the latest... Even like 1 frame before getting hit, you dodge it. It heals you, which is kind of nice, I guess. But it's also really slow.
I mean,
even the version
for
with
some
no
reason,
range is slow.
I guess like it works on like 4.8 sometimes. I don't like. I guess because I'm not looking out for it, because you know Ramila can do like a bunch of shit when she's
Yeah,
stabbing.
it works because Rumelia pressure is disgusting. Like anytime it works, it's just because Rumelia pressure is too gross. So like, people just don't expect it because they're like looking out for Rumelia stuff. Like Small in the U likes to use the grab, and like Sigets the other day got super mean by it.
I think that you can actually get a lot of grabs with after using it after the Gangnya. That's like the only setup, I think.
After going now, these guys.
No, really. After Gangnya, I think that's the only way to actually land it.
I mean, you can't grab out of block stun, so you're still facing the fact that they could probably jump.
That's still some future setups.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess like they were forced to border escape, instead of getting grabbed. But like, I don't think the game would even let you grab them while they're blocking Gangner.
Yeah, there's really just has to be they have to be respecting a lot for it to hit. So yeah. Conclusion, both fixed traits are extremely underwhelming compared to DP. Use the Rocket Kick Upper if you want combo video potential, I guess.
So now the Stigmatizer?
There was... we didn't talk about DP, but I think DP is like self-explanatory.
Well, how about the fact that it's like unlike, I mean, it has upper body invincible. If you don't know
Marisa's DP, on level 0 it has upper body vulnerability.
So dumb.
So like full upper body vulnerability, so it like dodges bullets too. Like her upper hitbox is just not there. So like, for example, something that happens a lot, like beginner Tenshis will try to, I don't know, like bait DP with like J2B, which will hit standing Rumelia, but on her barely. So like you use DP and just dodges J2B and you just hit them. Like, whenever I fought Tenuris, he got hit by that for, I don't know, a bunch of matches, and he was always extra mad about it.
Yeah, I also did like J2B with Racing.
Yeah, with Racing it can also happen, depending on the angle. If she does it from close, you just dodge it and just hit him.
Like, I didn't know anything about the box song. I was figuring that was just like fucking up and shit, right? But like no, apparently that's the thing that she can do. I'm like, oh great. So I just can't do J2B too. Bait like I do with every other DP. Well, granted, there's only like other 2 DPs in the game.
Yeah. So Marisa also has it, but it's not as noticeable because Ramilia's DP goes in a really like low angle, I guess, while Marisa's DP just goes straight up. So like it's less noticeable, but I still have dodged Tenshi J2B with like Marisa DP, and Marisa's gotten equally mad about it. But yeah, you can just dodge it. Oh yeah, Ramilia's DP also has the thing where when you use like the B version, it like sends them up, and they can like always air attack, and they air attack in a kind of awkward spot. Like Nanyako says, you can like reset with it, but honestly, the most of the time you can't really get anything out of it unless the opponent is doing dumb stuff, like mashing your or something.
That's like the multi-hit part, right? Like where like I guess hitting it multi-hit means that it retains a hitbox longer, but you can also like get the last hit and not really get any damage even if you red ray, I guess.
Alright, Ramilia's DP can also avoid the effect of Dragon Star.
Oh yeah. Most of the time, like versus Marisa or Jomu, some players choose to use like Dragon Star to play DP, or like to not have to care about DP. But like with Ramilia, you just don't give a shit about Dragon Star.
No, but if you like do like a move with like very little recovery, can it still suck the first hit and then you were able to block the rest? Or like if you did like 4A with Dragon Star, right? And normally that'll get you DP.
I mean, if you can recover before the 3rd hit, you're fine. It doesn't stick. It doesn't get you stuck on hit stun.
Okay, then I guess there's still some usage, but it's, I mean, normally Dragon Star just lets you just do whatever the fuck you want on DP.
Or maybe I use DP whenever I see Dragon Star because they're probably not gonna care.
Unless you have the Cancer Tenshi matchup where she like runs the 4 card.
Oh, 4 card is hell. Also, the Ramila's DP has the most invulnerability out of all DPs. I mean, all of the main 3 at least.
I've gotten a few times where like I blocked the DP from like very far, and I wasn't able to really get a good punch on it because it goes so fucking far.
It goes really far. Especially the C version. The C version is like literally just the B version but better. It sends it at a shallower angle, I guess is what you call it. It deals more damage, and on certain angles, it can knock down. You can, like on the corner, if you do corner to corner DP, most of the time it will knock down, and then you can pressure off of it, which is dumb.
Yo, I think that just about covers DP.
that covers DP, yeah.
What else in the skills did you want to talk about? I think
which input do we...
T-Rex?
I like the Rex.
We already talked about T2s.
We didn't talk about Stigmanizer.
Right.
We didn't talk about Stigmanizer, I guess.
Okay, let's bring a Scarpy.
Okay, Stigmanizer sucks, but it's kind of dense. No. Here. It's kind of dense, and it doesn't suck versus allies.
Yeah, that's the only reason to use it.
Oh, this is the Beyblade, right?
There's the Beyblade.
This looks like another fire and forget kind of bullet.
It's kind of dense. It's like B3 on level 1, and then like B4. And then B5 on level 4.
Yes, but the angle makes it a little useless.
The angle is really bad. and you also can only use it on the ground. If you could use it in the air, it would probably be a lot better.
So what's the ground trajectory like? Does that just like fly upwards?
When you use it on the ground, you jump up really high, and then you throw a bullet downwards at a really bad angle.
Wait, what inputs was Stigmatizer on?
2-2.
2-2, right? Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't replace anything useful, really.
There's no reason to use it.
But yeah, you'll only really use this versus allies because on level 1 it erases dolls, and on level 2 it erases dolls and goes through them, like with an extra hit. And the good thing about it is that when it's hitting dolls, it gets like stuck on them, like hitting them. It slows down really heavily. So like it stays on the screen a lot.
Be nice to like it ate up other bullets that were super annoying, like Yuyiko's, for example, 6E. I would consider using
Hopefully.
that if it beat that guy.
But yeah, there's not much really to say. It's really limited skill. You can barely do anything with it.
But it's not bad.
It's good versus allies. If you use it versus allies, it's completely acceptable. If you bring it anywhere else, you're just memeing. This is not even combo video, not even like rocket kick upper.
So that's it.
That's it.
For
That's
the Stigmatizer?
Yeah, Stigmatizer. There's not really much to say about that skill. It's really limited.
So now the Rekka, I think?
Now we can go with 236, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, the Rekka. Blaze.
Rekka.
The Rekka?
Come on, Blaze. Tell us about the Rekka.
I started using the Rekka because it's basically the best Rekka in the game.
Yeah, it's the best one.
It's the best Rekka out of the 2 Rekkas in the game, yeah.
I mean, even
There's not just two.
Even compared to the best Rekka, I mean to the most used Rekka, which is Yomu's Rekka, I think it's better in the sense that, I mean, you get spell card confirms, you get crush setups, and like
the crush is insane.
Enders.
Especially because you can like swap between the C version Ender, which is it's a complete crush on low, right?
It's a hard crush on low, but it's also a punish on low block. It's also a free punish on a low block.
I'm not sure if you can
Even
use a Cradle of Chu to make it safer.
You can use Cradle 2 cards to make everything safe. But it's dumb. You're just throwing 2 cards into the trash.
What about Gungnir? Can you use that afterward?
Yeah, you can use Gungnir. That's the smart thing.
Because it's like if they wrong block the high version, it does like 2 orbs, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
The high version does 2 orbs, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't want.
Is it like
you just don't want to get hit, like
yeah.
if they get hit by like the last hit of the C version, the Gungnir doesn't hit. I bet if the game was at delay
really
1 or 2,
skill.
maybe.
You sacrificed your default to 6, pretty good, but you also gain a lot of pressure tools. I think most people just don't use it because Rekka just mostly doesn't kind of fit with like a lot of the pressure styles people use. But Rekka is a really good skill. Just because it's not used doesn't mean it's bad. This skill is really good.
I mean,
it's as good as the default 236.
Wait, is the 236 really craze on frame 1? I mean, that doesn't really matter. Because like,
one.
I mean,
it's a really good craze attack.
There's a reason Iron Ash.
It's a nice dash attack, but like, it's not like it's the only dash attack that starts like Gray 0 or something, frame 1 or some shit, and like it still doesn't have really imbo.
Most skill cards. Most skill grace attacks grace at frame 1, like Yukari, Pinwheel, Jomu 63C.
Like I feel like, I mean, yeah, sure you get an option, but if you want to be safe about it, you know, you might as well just hold the dash button if you feel like someone's going to do a untight melee into a bullet. And I guess in general, like, even that like move is not really safe on block pretty often.
It's not safe on block, almost never.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's a risk.
Placing it with the Rekka, I mean, you do get a safer option on.
You get a really safe option
on moves like 6A and stuff.
Yeah,
and even
like on top of
Remy's
really strong pressure, you get a skill cancel, which is also really strong. It's a good skill cancel too. So yeah, but yeah, default tutor also has a lot of good tools. Like, it's first of all, it's a grace attack, so it's a good risky option, I guess. Like some matchups, like versus Yuko, you just limit a lot of their options just because you have 236. Because if they try to use 6C in pressure, for example, like do command normal 6C. If you right block the 6C, I mean, if you right block the command normal and then they do 6C, there's literally nothing they can do. They are getting hit by 236 no matter what they do.
And it's gonna be always a counter hit.
It's already also always a counter hit no matter what they do. So that's gonna be a free corner carry. That's gonna free Gungnir if you have Gungnir. Gonna just be a free momentum reversal. A huge momentum reversal.
Also that every time you land at 236, you can follow it with Gungnir or Heartbreak.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, that one. And that's like 3k or 5k.
Yeah,
depending on which one.
Spell Paration, 4k, because Spell Paration. Chain Spell.
And now the best one? Trickster Devil?
I mean, Trickster Devil is when you are really laggy and you want to abuse a lot of lag. Lag them to death with Trickster reactable cross-ups.
Or you just abuse the fact that they haven't slept. So you're just gonna use Trickster Devil.
No, you can also do great AUV setups with it.
Yeah, it's not the worst move, but it is pretty slow. It's reactable, especially because when somebody has Trickster Devil, they're pretty much going to base their entire pressure game mid-screen at least off of Trickster Devil.
That's a common beginner mistake, honestly, with Trickster Devil. You just abusing it too much because this is free cross up. I'm just gonna slap them with that, cross them up easy. I have Gungnir. I press the button. I get the 4.5k. Easier Soku match of my life.
So nice.
So that's a thing a lot of. That's like a very common mistake with Trickster, like just basing your entire pressure about it, which is also why I don't recommend it to beginners. Because it's never about that. And once you start fighting the really good players, it's not going to help you at all.
Well, for example, the C version also has imbue frames.
Yeah, like 2.
Yes, it's true, like 2. but has 2.
May as well dash forward if you want those imbue, because it's not frame 1 imbue, it's like frame 30.
Frame 9.
Oh, frame 9 imbue. Oh, just what I needed. And it's also it's only on the C version, which is the version that goes back, and like the 9th frame is like the frame where you are the farthest back from them. So like, why are you gonna dodge there? I don't know, it's just like time bomb. That's
I don't know. Maybe a random something, maybe.
Well, I'm still here. About Trickster Devil. You didn't say something that I think it's important to talk, considering a lot of people kind of died to it without even, a second thought. The sound effect comes, like, it's the very first thing that comes out.
Yeah.
If you react to sound...
Very reactable by sound. Compared to other cross-up skills.
I think people want to react by visuals, and that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, visuals are not. I mean, it also has a really distinguishable visual.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
Where she moves really, she like janks. I don't know how to call it, but she like moves very abruptly in direction, with a distinct sound effect.
Pretty much.
But almost no one plays with sound effects.
I mean, don't confuse music with sound effects. I think
no one plays with music. A lot of people play with sound effects. Come on, I play with sound
effects. I play with sound effects.
You play without sound effects?
Well,
yeah, but they are useless for me.
No.
You're a beast.
Incorrect. I'm sorry.
If I play with sound effects, I can do my combos with my eyes closed. At least I think I do, because I'll hear the noises.
No, I have to play with sound effects, otherwise I'm not playing Soku. I don't know. It's not.
I mean,
Soku.
Yeah, it's part of the experience for me. The music is kind of, but
I think that for me at least, the sound effects are only useful to know when someone joins to your host. I think
that is definitely useful.
It's pretty useful, yeah.
But yeah, I think people should learn to actually hear the sound and react instantly to that, mostly because it's really easy to block it by going by sound. It makes a huge difference. You can even block by in delay because the sound comes so early before the actual hit.
Yeah.
and also you can do some resets with it.
Yeah, Trickster Style is good for resets. You can just drop your combo and just slap him from behind.
Yes, exactly that. You can drop the dial A, the last hit of the dial A, and continue that with Trickster level. And that's
like
also use
You can
Gangnir.
also like hit him with J5A like twice, and then you slap him with the B bullets so they like restand. And then just Trickster again, I guess. Into Gangnir, into 10 billion K to win the game.
What more with Trickster?
But
You
yeah,
can use-
honestly, Trickster is it's not really that bad, but it's like the worst out of the 236 trilogy. It like offers the last.
I really think that the Rekka is the worst one.
No,
Because, for example,
Rekka is just hard to use.
yeah, but there's no reason to change it for default receipts. The same goes to Trickster. But
Yeah,
for example, if your opponent is in corner and you have Trickster, Remilia only needs a little gap to land Trickster.
Yeah, but they're not gonna just willingly walk forward.
And also the idea is not spamming it, of course.
Yeah, the less you spam it, the more it hits. The more you spam it, the less it hits. But that's just common with gimmicks like that.
As far as skills go, I think you mentioned a good 80% of them, but I'm looking
We're
at the timer
missing
now.
214.
214. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. You gotta point out at least just one 214 because we gotta move forward from here, and then it's gonna be spells.
Okay.
Didn't forget the
We
step one.
haven't talked about Forks. Forks it's really overshadowed by the other 214s, but honestly, all 214s are good. Forks is no exception. It gives like a nice snipe, I guess, decent.
That's right.
It's
You
a
have
nice
the
knife.
snipe setup video. Let me just put that on screen really quick.
Oh yeah,
So
the-
forks are used. So I'm pretty sure we've actually talked about default 214 and chains a little bit.
yeah. We talked
Yeah, but
about
wait.
chains throughout all the rest of the podcast because chains are so important. Default 214 too. But forks are kind of their own thing. They're actually kind of dense. Each of them are B1, as dense as a Remilia bat. So you can actually like erase a lot of stuff. Like
And also,
Nanyako,
we
like,
can't ignore the damage of Forks at level 4. It's like 3k.
level forks can deal really good damage.
Yeah, 3k or something.
Also, if you're good, you can. If you hit forks like at any distance, you can confirm it to Gangnir. But it's
What
kind of
about that latest scramble? Can you confirm of that? Forks.
no, I don't see that happening.
Yes.
Not even up close. That looks kind of strange because like it does have quite some amount of hit stun, so I figure
Yeah, it has nice hit stun. but
maybe on
Battle
like
Scramble is just too slow as a combo tool because you have like the whole jump up to the wall, have the spell flash, and then just slap them. But that's too
And the
slow.
damage gets so reduced by that.
And anyways, and even then, like Battle Scramble is awful for combos. It's not a combo spell at all.
well, I guess the other spells that I would combo from is like even Scarlet
Trails.
Devil, right? And the chain spell card. I bet it would come from that one too.
Chain spell crazy. Silverforks liked it. Okay, but yeah, forks also you can also like kind of use them in block strings, I guess.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, you never use in block string Nanyako, but like they
I used
actually deal like
1 orb.
0.25 orb spare spear. So like in level 3, that's 4 spears, that's 1 orb. Like you can do like 5C into 2-on-4 into Gungnir, and that's like 4 orbs instantly.
Or just a random dinner 4 game pressure.
And just a random dinner fork into Gungnir or dinner. Actually, just dinner fork into anything. It's kind of weird because dinner fork has a really slow motion cancel. So I'm not sure about that. I think it's better just tie it as a surprise or burst with Gungnir. Like the spell really has a lot of synergy with both spear spells. With Gungnir and a Heartbreak. Yeah, it's a snipe. You can use it to raise annoying bullets like Oku 6B. You can use it to get Sanai out of the sky sometimes.
And
Or
that's it.
Suwaka, but yeah, that's it. It's a simple skill. You slap him with the spears at long range.
But I don't think that it's useful against Suwako.
Yeah, chains are better.
Yeah, chains are better. Well, now the Servant Flyer.
I think we're Thermal Flyers. You set up the bullets, and then you run away.
Yeah, you go from it like full screen. You set up because like too close apparently. Even far away, like if the opponent sees that you're using servant flyers, you get to a point where like
He's gonna fly
Yeah.
you, of course.
and
They're gonna rush you.
it actually feels like the interaction with servant fly happens the most. It's like people trying to run in at you while you're recovering, and then you like have to either air to air them instantly because they're like right in your face, or you have to run away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And also, you can set down for Roki for like puny orb damage, or you can use them for cross-ups. Like Japanese players like to cross up with the bullets of this skill a lot.
Tutui?
They think with the legendary go over them, then 2-2-B to the other side for double cross-up.
Okay, well,
Okay, yeah.
we've talked about the
All skills.
Yeah, I think we can get those. They're interesting, but I think we have to move on.
Yeah, we have to move on to
So-
spells.
We've talked a little bit about how the spells that Remilia has, it's mostly just Gungnir and Scarlet Devil for the most part, but do the other spells have use in other situations?
Yes.
The lower in
Yeah,
cost
I
you
didn't
go,
mean Devil, I meant Cradle. Cradle and
The
Gungnir.
lower.
Gungnir.
the lower in cost
Yeah.
you go, the least useful they become. How
Okay.
about we start from
From the two costs, I
worst
guess.
spells? With the two
Okay.
costs, okay. You have hard. No, let's start with Cradle. Cradle's two card Cradle. It sucks. Next.
No, idiot.
It's horrible.
No, it's great. You
Super
can get
great.
like 2.9 from if you
It's
land
3K.
it.
2.9.
See, 3k, even 3k, that's more than Heartbreak.
To be more exact, it's 3.002k.
See, even better.
3002. You mean exactly the same that you do with the counter hit?
I mean, this doesn't
Combo.
need the counter hit.
Yeah, and you gain like 500 damage. Great job.
And also, for example, if you fail your, I don't know, your default to receipts or your Trickster Devil,
You can make stuff safe with it, yeah, but you
yeah,
don't
you can
gain-
make it safe. And also, you can get a punish from it.
I guess the thing is like with the Dialay, like not only you get 500 damage, but you also get knockdown, which you like almost never get from with Remilia if you hit him with a 5A.
I
Far
guess
from
it can
corner.
give you knockdowns, but you also get the same thing with like 2-card Gungnir. 2-card Gungnir is much better in my opinion.
Wait, what gunner? I thought we were talking about 2-card gunner.
No, we're talking about 2-card Cradle.
Oh,
Yes.
no, fuck that.
That's me. It sucks.
No. But
I mean-
yes, let's continue with Heartbreak, I think.
Heartbreak is. It's like
It's not bad.
it's on
But-
the maybe you can use them cards along with like it's on the same tier as Bad Lady Scramble of usefulness. Of you can run it.
You can run it, but it's not as useful as Gungnir. For example,
Yeah.
you can do full screen combos with it.
Yeah,
Of
they
course.
have the same startup, but Heartbreak has travel time.
And also does a lot less damage.
I guess you can. I guess you can be catch with it.
You can border escape catch with 2-card cradle. We got a visionary voice.
Also, you can get a crush with it.
Yeah. Wait, with crack. Oh yeah, with heartbreak.
Yes,
if you crush with heartbreak, you're positive. That's something I wanted to like experiment.
I mean, we're not really Toho fan. We're not really dedicated. Wait, I was sorry. I thought. Continue.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll use the chat.
Oh, you were gonna use the chat? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something I wanted to experiment. Like, just have a deck with like a bunch of heartbreak, and like you start chaining crushes over and over because it deals 2 orbs, same as Gungnir. It deals 2 orbs on block, and if you crush with it, you're positive. You can reset. You get another block string. You can't confirm the crush into a combo, never. But you can always just reset into another block string. So like I was thinking of like making a deck with it, where you crush you and then crush you again, and then you start using the card to like start eating away your orbs, and then you can't do anything because you have no orbs to block. That's something I wanted to try, like a snowball deck.
The problem I think that Heartbreak has is that if you, for example, get the crash with it, you can actually get a punish.
Yeah, that's what I said. You can get a combo off it.
That's like the only problem it has.
You can reset off of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an eternal block string
card. It just doesn't deal good damage.
That does good damage.
It is decent damage. Yeah, you can
2.7, I think. Anyways, it's better than 3-cost chains.
Oh yeah, 3-cost chain. Now let's go to 3 cards, the meme cards.
Yeah, let's continue with 3 cards because there's no more.
Chain, yes. Also known as the card that was never. No, actually that card. It could have been, I don't know. If you block that card from like a very specific distance, it deals 5 orbs and a bunch of chip damage, like 3k chip.
Are there any tight setups for it?
No.
It's kind of bad if that's the only
I mean, it sucks your grace, I guess.
Yeah, you can just grace it and punish.
No, but doesn't it suck grace on... It sucks orbs on grace?
Yeah, it's a type 2
bullet. Yeah, it's type 2, but it sucks like 0.1 orbs on touch.
And there's something about the range, it's like, and it's such a weird range. It's not the setup range that you would expect from most of Vermilia's other stuff. Like it's not within 2A range. It's maybe like the ass end of the 3A hitbox.
It's a bit bigger than 3A range.
Yeah, so there's no realistic setups for it.
At that distance, they crush. Also, there's another setup where you do a J5A or J2A into J5C, then you land cancel the J5C into the card, and it crushes. But it deals no damage and deals no chip damage, and it's garbage. But it does. It works. You can do it, I guess. Silver Fox did it. He tried to tell me the card was good. Yeah, that's the only thing you can do with the card. It sucks for combos. It deals no damage. It deals more damage if you block it. It literally deals more damage if you block it.
So that's it with 3-cost chains?
3-cost chains. Are there any other 3-cost cards besides...
we have the tiny version of the reversal of 5.
Oh, there's the 3-card reversal. I forgot that.
It's Nightless Castle.
Yeah.
I use it sometimes, I guess. It's so
I
reversal.
never use it. It's so bad.
No, I have used it. It's not bad, and you can confirm it from a random 2A.
I mean,
and always connects.
You're gonna get like less damage than 2-card Cradle.
Yes, that's why. No, wait. You get more damage than Heartbreak, at least. A little more. But there's no real reason to use it because sucks at block streams, sucks at literally everything.
It does no orbs, it has no range, it's faster than the 5 card, but I think it has an earlier Yeah, it's faster than the fire card.
It's faster.
It's faster, but I think it has a very.
Alpha.
I think it has a very early spell flash, which makes it fast. It's easier to react to it than the 5 card.
But yeah,
so
I think that's
no
the worst
range.
problem.
Also, it has no
Yeah, is
imble.
that-
Like, it has no imble. It has barely imble. Like, it has imble on the startup, and that's it. It's like Mario's DP. No, like Yomu DP. Yeah. On the imble frames. So it's a really bad card, honestly. It has no uses besides a reversal, and it's bad as a reversal.
I mean, you can still use it. It's not that bad.
I guess
I will never use it.
I use it because I don't really use DP, so okay, I guess I'll use this reversal from time to
I
time.
would rather run Hangekis and bombs other than that card.
No, I mean that's a decent damage at least. It's bad damage, but it's decent. It's there. 3k.
It's like 3k. It's not.
Yeah,
Is it 3k?
I will say that it's a little less than 3k.
It's a little
Like
less.
2.8.
It's like 2.8.
Alright, well, this card is over. Anything else?
So
Lady Scramble now?
bad Lady Scramble. What a good card.
What a bad card.
Real shit.
I will say that you can use it in combos because the damage gets bad after it. Yes.
Okay, it's bad on combos. Let's just get out. Wait for one combo.
There's absolutely no use in block strings.
Yeah, I feel like it's a card that you just use it when you think it's gonna work.
It's like
Yes.
honestly,
It doesn't
this
feel
card
like there's a good
use. No, it has 3 uses. The first one, it's like you are in Typhoon and you press the button and you get 3.5k.
yeah, that one's good. Nice.
It's like the best use. You just gain instant advantage on Typhoon. The second use is you use it like a better 2/2.
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You just-
No.
You just in neutral. You just do neutral. Dude, come on. You've seen me you do this in like
Yes,
a billion
you
games.
always fail at using it.
Versus you, but like versus like other players, I hit it a lot.
Dude,
Because
I'm the same as the other players. I'm not special.
no. Like, dude. The thing with this card that I think a lot of people don't notice is that the spell flash. Fucking advice out. Okay. What was I saying? I would. Oh yeah, Battle Scramble. The thing is, like, the spell flash happens like right before the startup, so like you literally don't react to the card until it's already active.
Yeah, that is the thing about Bad Lady Scramble. It has the exact
Yeah.
same startup as D22 until
Also,
the spell flash.
it graces from frame 1.
Oh, interesting. So
It's kind of weird. Yeah, it graces
even
from
on
frame 1.
even on the startup when you're flying up to the corner.
Yeah, even on the start, it graces up.
Oh, that's interesting. So it could be
graces
sort of
all the
used
way.
as a-
It graces all the way until you land on the ground.
Yeah, I've never really understood the use for the spell though.
There's no
There's 3
use. Run a
uses.
hit.
You use it on Typhoon to get a free 3.5k.
Okay.
You use it to punish certain spells like Soft Sun. I think there's a clip of that.
Okay.
Surface.
Wouldn't you
yeah,
sort of
one
just
second.
fly into the sun though?
No, because like Oku flies really high
Oh,
and like
okay, I
sets
see.
the Soft Sun up in the air, and then you just fly higher than her, and use Battle Scramble, and you go through the sun grazing. You graze through the sun, and you hit her for 3.5k.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, there's a video of it now on the stream. I just go down and then you land, and the worst thing that will happen is that you will get hit by the small pellets when you land. Maybe.
Yeah, I was just slowly going
So
through
it
all your
doesn't work.
videos because I wasn't sure if we were going to get to them.
It doesn't have the recovery of D22, so it'll
It doesn't bounce back. You are active until you land.
Okay,
You don't
interesting.
bounce against the wall. Which and also you can use if you just wanna get rid of you have a bad hand like 50 bombs, nothing else, like you're starving for hunger and you have like one battling scramble, you can just pop that bad boy in neutral and it's like say 95% of the time.
Yeah, this thing stops time too, so like it doesn't even feel that slow. I mean, it feels slow, but it's not really that slow because
it feels slow, but it's not slow because the spell flash, the time stop, happens when you're already on the wall and the instant the spell flash stops, you just rush to them at really high speed. It's a giant melee. It's absolutely huge, and most of the time I've been fighting people that are just really active, like they move a lot, they like throw bullets and stuff. And like they just like they're like in the middle of high jumping. No, they're just moving, and then I press the spell, and when the spell flash happens, they're in the middle of high jump startup, and they just get hit by 3.5k free in neutral. I've mashed it on neutral, and it has worked way more than it should, I guess. What more people should say? It's actually legit mashing in neutral. Well, not legit, but it's not fake.
It feels hard to like backdash as well because I tried backdashing and I've gotten hit a couple of times.
Oh yeah, you just wanna. And sometimes on legendary occasions you can cross up with it, like you can cross up with JH6A. I love the battling scramble cross-ups. I've gotten them a few times. It's lovely every single time. But yeah, I like the spell. If you don't have nothing else to put in this deck, it's good filler. It's also good and cheap. It's also cheap, which is something Remilia doesn't have much. Okay, we're gonna move on to other spell. I just really like Battling Scramble.
So we've already talked about Miserable Fate. That's the card that would be good if it had any realistic setups and the spacing wasn't awful.
Yeah, we already talked about Chains.
Yeah, but then we're going to Gungnir, which is
God?
Yeah. Gungnir.
We start with Gungnir, or we can go.
Can we talk about the other meme?
Yeah, no, I mean we can continue with the other ones, and then T5 cost, and at the end Gungnir because it's like the best one.
Yeah, because it's the best one.
All right. Well, if we're going for the memes, there's Millennium Vampire.
Oh, hit me with the Millennium Vampire. Because Millennium Vampire, what it does is that it gives you this buff for like 3 seconds. I don't know.
No, I can't. I think that it gives you a buff and cancels a buff. Because like it also increases your damage taken.
Oh yeah,
so
it gives you this buff and nerf, I guess. But it gives you this status effect where you heal all the damage you deal, like 1/1. Like you deal 1k, you heal 1k.
Heavy fog.
Yeah, that's fair, but doesn't also cancel.
It also increases the damage you take, so you take 1.2 more damage.
Yeah, but theoretically, it is a Roman cancel, so
it's a really slow Roman cancel. Yeah, because it has startup and it has cancel. If you have like 10, it's like a 10 frame normal cancel, so you can do dumb meme gimmicks with it, or you can just throw 4 cards into the trash to cancel your Citrus 6.
Hell yeah!
You can do. It's good for meme value.
Is there anything else of note about Millennium Vampire? It's a Roman cancel. It makes you take more damage, but it makes you
Roman cancel. It makes you take more damage. It gives you the comebacks of the year. remember the meme tournament or meme tournaments? The meme chasers. That I was getting bodied in those tournaments, and they used to whip that bad boy Millennium Vampire, and it was like it's like double heavy fog, honestly, because it heals. It literally just heals all the damage you deal. So like you deal a 3k combo, that's a 6k combo because you heal 3k of that.
Interesting.
So it could have been, but honestly, you have to activate then hit with it. So it's just you're not gonna get.
Again, it would be a good card if it had setups worth a shit.
Also, it doesn't last for too much time, and you also take more damage, so it's dumb.
Yeah, if you could realistically use it mid combo, it would be good.
You can use it mid combo to get like the same damage you will get with a regular combo,
Yeah,
would
but
also
then you'll
heal for like 500 damage.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you
And,
could
like,
use it at
you-
the start of the combo.
So like you turn like your 2.5k combo into like a 2.6k combo with like 600 health. So it's like a 3.2 damage different. The 3.2 like health difference.
Yeah.
But then you use Gungnir for 4 cards and you get 4k anyways.
Okay, so the other meme would be Remelia stretch, right?
Oh, you mean Remelia's Worst card?
Hell yeah.
The card that. Oh my god. First of all, let me set this straight. It has 2 active frames. That means it's baggable by all the cast. Okay, so Remelia Stretch is this really slow startup card that it has super armor like after the spell flash, and it's unblockable. It's this big, huge unblockable claw that you slap the opponent with, and it deals like 4 point something k. Like impossible to combo. And well, I think like this supposed like intended use with Remelia Stretch is like to like force Diamond Dust and like then hit him with the unblockable setup. But the problem with that is it has no active frames, so you like hit him with the Diamond Dust setup, hit him with the really specific Diamond Dust unblockable wake up hard to time setup because it has 2 active frames.
Yeah.
And then they just bag that shit.
Yeah, basically. That is the issue. The active frames are so low that even the Diamond Dust setup is very backdashable.
Yeah.
Because you have to time it really well. But you can... The timing isn't that bad. Like, in Diamond Dust, you can, most of the time, just use it on the enemy's knockdown. When they hit the ground, you can just have the spell flash happening. So the setup isn't that bad, but then again, it's sort of a realistic. It's I don't know how much. Yeah, it's
not even doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah, if it had more active frames, it would be a good move, I think.
Yeah, like Melee's all 6-3 punch.
Yeah, it's sort of like a bad version of that.
It's also really big. It's a really big spell, but with how slow it is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is. It is very big.
It can counter hit too.
But aside from that,
yeah, it's bad.
Now we've got the 3 cards that you're actually kind of supposed to use a lot, right?
The big boy cards, yeah. These are the like. There's like the God tier cards, like Gungnir. There's the also almost God tier card, which is Cradle. Then there's like the really useful cards, which are then there's the useful tier, which is as Scarlet Devil. I'll argue that Battle Scramble is also on the useful tier, and Heartbreak is also almost on the useful tier.
Yeah,
like barely.
So Scarlet Devil or Cradle? I think that Scarlet Devil is not as useful as Cradle is because it is a reversal, and you gotta give it that.
Really big reversal.
It's a big reversal, and it does big damage if you use it like a reversal.
Yeah.
But it's kind of slow on the startup, I think.
It's really slow, but it has a really late spell flash, which again makes reacting to it kind of hard because you just like.
It is difficult to react to, but then Remelia also has that poke, and she can.
Yeah, she also has her other
the same amount of damage from Cradle.
She has also her other Bethelian defense options.
Yeah, so a reversal if that kind of reversal is really good on a character that doesn't have that good of a defense. But Remelia, she's already got pretty strong defense, so I don't think it's that warranted.
I mean, I get the thing with this spell card is that it sucks like frames on Grace, like even if you Grace on the ground, I think.
Oh yeah, it's also type 2. So sometimes you can use it as a type 2, like a great type 2 trap, I guess. when
you can use
they're
it
like
as a...
they're at low orbs, like 1 orb or less, and you use it like when they're like in the air or like in the ground. Like, oh, I will escape this. If they block it, they get crushed. If they try to graze it, if they graze bad, they can get crushed.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it being used as a crush tool, as sort of like a worse Gungnir.
Oh yeah, it's also airtight. It like most of the tough Gungnir's are airtight too. These cards are also airtight too, so you can use it like as a ghetto crush.
Yeah, exactly. You can use it as sort of a Walmart brand Gungnir.
Yeah, and it deals nice damage when you crush with. All right, not as good as Gungnir, but you can crush with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you gray, also on Spring Haze, the grace drain gets really heavy for this card. But yeah, also other than that, you can use it to combo off J2A. You can use, J2A counter hit, it deals good damage. You can use it to combo off 2A. You can use this spell, like if you get a counter hit J8A, you can confirm it into this spell, and it looks really sick.
Yeah, it is pretty sick.
You just troll them into the sky, and then you combo them from the ground with this thing. You can also use it to out damage Subsun. I guess.
Really?
Like Oku's like up in the air, just in the sun, doing her Oku things, and you can just throw out. You can just use it on the bottom. And you can just use it below Oku, and then you will do like 5.5k versus her, and then you will eat like 3k something if you, depending on the RNG. Well, not RNG, depending on the timing you use, and if you get hit by the small pellets, like early or not. But yeah, I was taking like 3.3k when I did it.
That's fascinating. But
yeah.
I think it's time to start talking about the other 5 card.
The big
it might as well be a reversal due to how easy it is to confirm off of it.
Not quite a reversal, but it's just the huge combo tool.
So Dracula Cradle is what we're talking about. It's her her other 5 card, the one that does like 4.6, 4.8k off of 4A, because it's such a short startup. So what are the uses for this other than just
combo? It's literally just combo.
You just push 4A, you have that card, and you can convert 4.6k off of.
Yeah, you can also confirm it off Dial A. You can confirm it off 2A. You can confirm it off 3A. You can do 2A, 3A Cradle, and it also deals good damage. 3A, 2A Cradle. It's interchangeable. I can't even speak English.
I think I think what makes this card like that high in the tier is probably the fact that it comes from like counter hit J2A and J5A.
Yeah, counter hit J2A2, you wait a bit and you get like a huge damage.
The thing is, like, all the other confirms come from the ground, right? So usually you would just like, okay, I'm just not going to be on the ground very often. But then like there's also the J2A which bounces on counter hit, and like if you're low air and you get hit by a J5A, then Cradle also combos there. So I think that's also like what makes it powerful.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of leeway because, I mean, other than the 4A confirm, you can do that stuff kind of quickly.
You can also confirm it off J6A. If you're in Dust Storm, literally anything, but you get any button that Remelia hits you in the air is going to confirm into Cradle. On Dust Storm.
Yeah.
You can also, if you do 214C chain, like the chain that grabs you, and you're in the ground, that's a Cradle. You can just go straight into Cradle.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it also kind of helps in like block strings. Not really like directly, but not directly, but if you, it helps with like the mind games. I think you can say, because you can start doing like 4A staggers, and like if they try to mash your 4A staggers, and they get hit by the 4A, you can transform that instantly into 4.5k. Just because they try to mash 4A.
Yeah, it feels pretty worth it to start doing a lot of the shafts because like the weakness of them is like you don't get a lot of profit from doing them, I guess. But
yeah, and now you're getting a big spell. So yeah, and like people start getting mashy, and if they get mashy, they get hit. So, and if they don't get mashy, they start to respect things they shouldn't respect. So either way, you benefit from it if you play it right. But yeah, this spell is just good because it transforms any hit into like giant damage. And then you have Gungnir, which does the same thing, but it also crushes, and it also snipes, and it also punishes.
Oh, so we're starting Gungnir?
I mean, there's not really much left about Cradle now. It hits you in the face for big damage.
And you can confirm it from literally anything.
You confirm it from literally anything. So yeah.
So
and then
now
you have
Gungnir?
Gungnir, which also confirms from everything. Except
You can make, with Gungnir, for example, you can make saves, things like 2-3 and continuity block string.
Yeah, you can continue block string for a lot of things. You can do 2-3-6 into it and continue block string. You can do dial A, like full dial A, and do Gungnir and continue pressure. And it's really good in block strings. It's crushes, it deals a lot of orbs. It deals a lot of chip damage. It's airtight after 6A 5B. I mean 6A wrong look 5B. I think I already mentioned that earlier on the mid screen like crush setups.
Yes.
You can combo it off J6A counter hits, J6A no non-counter hits. You can combo it off J5AA.
From random things.
You can combo it off 3A, 2A, J2A counter hits. Literally anything in Dust Storm too. In Dust Storm you can literally just do J5A Gungnir, J2A Gungnir, J6A Gungnir, J8A Gungnir, anything Gungnir.
Yeah, Gungnir has it's almost like Ran and how easy the setups are and how tight they are. And it has good spirit. Yeah, definitely. And how's the chip on it?
It's alright, yeah. It's good. Because you're also pretty much gonna crush on it.
How much chip damage?
I don't know how much exactly it does, honestly.
I've
never measured it. It looks like a bit over, I don't know, 1.5k, I don't know.
No, that's impossible. Should be a little less, I think.
I haven't labbed it, honestly. But yeah, I'll agree. It deals a good enough cheap damage for how easy it is to crush with it.
I will say that is 1k.
Because everything is airtight into Gungnir anyways. You can do Dial A, the entire Dial A into Gungnir. That's airtight.
Yeah.
You can do 2A into Gungnir, that's airtight. You can do 6A into Gungnir, that's airtight. 3A into Gungnir, airtight. You can do 236, any of 236B, 236C, any of the hits, airtight into Gungnir. If they block a C bullet, you can make that airtight into Gungnir. Yeah, literally any move on the ground is airtight into Gungnir. And for example, if you do Dial A Gungnir, if they stop blocking at any point, it transforms from a block string into a combo. 6A other moves kind of depends, because for example, if they're like deep in the corner and you do like 236 Gungnir, which is airtight and it's supposedly good, but if they get hit by the 236, even on counter hit and in non counter hit, the Gungnir just straight up doesn't work. So yeah, it's really good for block streams, for crushing. It deals 2 orbs. It deals like 4. It transforms any hit into like 4k or more. And you can limit off it most of the time, unless they're like literally on the other side of the screen. If you're running 214 spears, you can also confirm. You can also like confirm the 214 spears into Gungnir. I don't know. It's one of the best cards in the game, honestly.
You can also confirm it from a random 2-2B.
Oh yeah, up to 2B too. You can just do 2-2B counter hit a Gungnir. Actually, it doesn't even need to be counter hit. If they get hit by random 2-on-4 bats, you can transform that into Gungnir.
You know, this
if
is
you
kind of
land
the reason why I
or
figured
chain.
that Remelia is just super strong. Her confirms lead to so much damage because of these cards. Like, oh my god, that's a lot of damage.
You can almost any combo and stuff. You can convert it into either of these spells. Because they're both really good. Like Remelia damage output is one of the weakest in the game, honestly. I'll argue. But when you start putting the spells into the equation, it becomes really gross.
Would you say then that like a way to counterplay Remelia is to just like stop her from building meter? Not that I think that's really possible though, seeing how mobile she is.
It's certainly possible because she doesn't have ways to build meter until she catches you. Like her bullets are pretty bad.
I think that the way to counter Remelia's gameplay is keep it neutral instead of trying to do pressure or risky things. It's always keep it neutral.
Honestly, that kind of works because Remelia has all these tools that can reverse your momentum. So like if most of the time she's gonna beat you at you're gonna try to pressure her, she's gonna 2-3-6, she's gonna DP, she's gonna reversal, she's gonna do something stupid, as Remelia players do, and it's gonna work. And you're gonna be now in pressure because you tried to pressure Remelia. So I guess one solution is just to not try to pressure her and try to beat her in neutral. That's what Nanyako does, at least, and it seems to work.
Seems to work.
I hate it, but it seems to work.
Okay, I'm gonna make somewhat of a transition here. I
Okay.
think that's just about all the spell cards.
That's all the spell cards.
I thank you so much for actually covering all that because I learned quite a bit just from like Gungnir and the reversal. Like I learned, don't graze that Scarlet Devil. Like that's serious damage.
Get out of Scarlet Devil. When you debate Scarlet Devil, you want to get out of it. That's the main priority. And then it has something I see people do is like they like Grey Scarlet Devil and then they just rush to hit Remelia in the air and they get like 500 damage off their J5A, and that's it. Like I'll also complain about this when talking about mailing for card reversal.
You just wait for them to land.
You just wait for them to land and you prepare your highest damage combo because the recovery is huge. You just like get near them, get the good spacing, and then do your big boy damage combo like Grayson 2-6 starter, Iku 5B starter. And yeah, you prepare your big boy damage combos or your big boy damage spells.
Okay, so jumping into our next topic, which I think is going to be the last one for the day, and it's going to be about matchups. So first I'll ask Nanyako, then I'll ask Iron, and then I want to hear Blaze Dragon's opinion on best matchup and then your worst matchup. Nanyako, go.
For best matchup, I will say that the easiest one should be, for me at least, for Iron is the worst. I think that Komachi is literally the easiest one. There is literally no way to you can lose that matchup.
Damn.
It's literally so easy that I don't know how Iron can lose against that.
Why is it easy?
Because Komachi is slow, is fat, I don't know, her ballet sucks. What more? I don't know. There is no reason to lose that matchup. And if
What's
the hardest one?
Is it Yuyuko?
Yes, for me it's Yuyuko.
Yeah,
because if you don't play with chains, at least personally, I don't like chains. I prefer dinner fork or default 2-1-4. So for me, Yuyuko is literally pretty hard to play against. At least because I can surpass her bullet coverage.
I thought you always felt bad about the Iku matchup.
No, that's Iron.
Because he doesn't play the Iku matchup.
Alright, Iron,
XD.
best and worst.
Best and worst? Worst?
That's Zero.
Worst, I'm kind of torn because probably I want to say Iku, but I also want to say Patchouli.
Say Yuyuko.
I'm not gonna say Yuko. Yuko's not hard. You suck.
No.
Blaze Dragon's choking, man.
And the easiest is probably Aya. She just doesn't have. Her neutral is
No.
poopy.
Well, Aya? Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said that because if Aya use her.
No, I'm not. I don't say
Scan.
that because I don't say it because it's bad. I say you know what?
Why then?
I say it because Aya she doesn't have anything to keep Vermilia away. I think she has good melees, I guess, to outmaneuver her opponents, but then you have Vermilia who moves everywhere, so you can't really pin her down. Neutral is kind of even, and then you try Aya tries to pressure Aya's one of strongest strengths, I feel, so she has good pressure. Aya has really good pressure. So she can get a lot of crushes. But you can't do that versus Vermilia because Vermilia's defense is too strong. Most of the time Vermilia's gonna get out, she's gonna do something stupid and you're not gonna crush Vermilia. And even if you crush Vermilia can function just fine without a few orbs. And the moment Vermilia reverses momentum, Aya has no defense tools to deal with Vermilia's strong pressure, her insane pressure. So you catch her, start catching her, she starts losing HP. And if she border escapes and fails, or you crush her, Aya starts to really start to fall down without orbs.
Gotcha. So
I don't know. I feel the odds are really stacked against Aya.
So
And
it's
also
not
she
just
can't
really
use
the
fork
neutral.
or rock.
It's just her options against Vermilia that kind of, give Vermilia a bit of an edge there.
Yeah. Her strongest point is her pressure, and she can't use that versus Vermilia. While Vermilia's weakest point is her neutral, and she doesn't suffer from neutral versus Aya.
I mean, both of their neutrals are equally kind of not very strong, but I feel like they're both very movement-oriented characters. So,
yeah.
Blaze Dragon, best and worst, go.
Well, best personally, I feel like it's Iku.
Nice. What a nice Vermilia.
It's gotta be I think it's most of the characters that are decently sized and have decently sized and have the ability, not a lot of defense, I guess. So it would be characters like Alice, Iku,
Oku.
no, because Oku's kind of weird. Yeah, and those are the easiest matchups. Iku, Alice, I guess. Raisin maybe, but I mean, Raisin's B bullets in general neutral. Can stop Vermilia from just dashing into her, I guess. With other characters, you get hit quite often, I guess, but there's a lot of profit in getting in if you do read right. Versus Raisin, all the reads feel a little weird because her recovery sometimes at least when she's paying attention and she's being careful, the recovery Raisin has when playing Vermilia is pretty quick. That it feels like you're sort of playing a baiting game most of the time. Let's see. As for worst matchups, I think it's gotta be characters like Oku,
Damn.
and maybe Suika as well.
Suika's a hard
I
one.
do. Yeah, I do consider who's this bitch again? Oh, Yuyuko to be sort of hard, but not really as hard as Suika or Oku. It's just the thing is with Yuyuko is that it's really annoying to have to deal with that 6C and J6C land council. which is also the reason why I wouldn't consider Komachi to be an easy matchup, just because like once Komachi shoots like 1-2, 1-4, it's like the neutral is like over.
Yeah. I can deal with Komachi 2-1-4 or 5C 2-1-4.
Yeah. I get there's other advantages too, but like it doesn't.
What do you feel Oku is hard,
losing
though?
neutral is just like, well, Oku is like apart from being able to punish your dumb DP gimmicks and like other unsafe shit like with hard damage.
Hard big boy damage, yeah.
Yeah, she's also hard to like Okizame, right? Correctly at least, or at least in the in positions where like you can get good block streams, because like if she takes full screen, like you don't really have a lot of setups right there, and like she also has the 4, I guess. It's kind of normal, I guess. You can still deal with it, but you know, it does create a problem, I guess, when she's also just allowed to tech mid screen without a problem. She also has 6B. Yeah, she also has 6B. It's just like it's a light version of Yuyuko's 6C, I guess, but it's still problematic. And you can try to like chain it, I guess. Erase it as well, but like Oku has her own chain counters, I guess. With like if she graces the chain, or she like 2-1-4s you with, or 2-3-6 you with Geisa, right? If she like hits you with Geisa, or like the laser, right? The 6C Geisa. then you know the chain doesn't really become as powerful as I feel like it would be. But yeah, this is mostly just the hardest matchups to Remy, I think.
Yeah. Have you seen my Okizeme setups for Oku?
Are they the same ones I told you before? Like it's like do like J2C on the neutral tech or some shit.
Yeah, J2C on the neutral tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
That gives me a lot of advantage against Oku, honestly.
Yeah. The thing is, like, even with that, like, because I did the same with Racing, right? But then like Mono, I just started high jumping a fucking wake up.
Yeah, that's why I try to not do it every time. I do sometimes. I do it when I really want to get a block stream, like when I have that juicy Gungnir. When I really want to get that crush, or that foray cradle, that's when I do it. Otherwise, I try to like guess and like attempt to bait Oku into mashing dumb stuff, like 5C every time. Oku 5C on wake up is actually really strong.
Yeah. I don't know. Like for some reason, even though that move has slow startup, it manages to hit you just because
it's so fast. Very neutral wake up.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess it's true. There's not quite a lot of like Grant says. There's not quite a lot of representation when it comes to Amelia. Some matchups are a little weird to think out. Like, yeah, sure. Like I think even with neutral, it's kind of hard to get into Alice, and the game starts to slow down a bit because Alice just places all these dolls, and like it gets hard to like getting to her. But like I guess just from what I've experienced, like whenever you go in once and you start doing quite a lot of damage with block strings, and you start getting out of these block strings because you have good defense tools, it starts to really weigh in on the other characters. They're not really terrible matchups, I'd say. Even I say like Iku's the best matchup for me. Like it feels like a 6-4, and it mostly just feels like because like I have the freedom to like play in a way that I want to, right, and just win like that. Sort of like not turn off my brain, but just like be able to just keep up the same kind of tactic over and over again, which is like just start jumping into Iku and start trying to read whenever she tries to hit you, because she can't really stop you from rushing in without giving up some momentum herself, I guess.
Whenever I try to do that, I just get slapped away by J2 instantly. I cannot approach Iku. If I try to approach Iku, I get blown up hard. So like, I cannot approach and I cannot stay out anyways because 6C will just destroy everything you do. The spin bar is supposedly good, but honestly, whenever an Iku uses Dragon Eye, I start playing better. I don't know, they don't have... No, I don't start playing better, but I don't have a problem with it, because I already play in a way that I play high in the ceiling, I guess.
Yeah, the thing is, like, yeah, it's nice, but most of the time it's just like a full screen. It's a full screen bullet, right? So what tends to happen is because I'm always mashing forward, I either, like, I might get hit, like, on this really close up, or I just take the risk and just try to hit her out of the spinning.
Actually, Dragon Sight is first of all, it's a really slow startup, and it has a really slow movement cancel.
Yeah.
So it's kind of risky to set it. It's kind of like Remelia's default 2-on-4, but you can use it in the air.
It's like, I consider when someone is way too far away from you that you haven't really put off a really good moment. You haven't really put off, like, you haven't really tried to get inside the range pretty as much as you should be doing. So, like, if you always stay close to the opponent, you can't really shoot you with that kind of stuff really easily. They'd have to hit you first, I guess, with like J2A or some shit, right? But then they could just like combo instead.
I get intercepted by J2A and 6C a lot, personally. That's my problems with being quite funny, really hard.
There's a few like strange matchups with Remelia, I guess, which is like Suako. I feel like that's a strange matchup.
That's strange. It should be good, but
and we don't really get to see it very often because, you know, native always presses escape before before the set even finishes. So it's like, I mean, yeah, sure, we get to see the matchup very often, but most of the times it just ends in escape, right? So like, I don't really get to see them because native doesn't even want to try to like finish the matchup.
Sad.
Another strange matchup with Remelia is Sanae.
Sanae is horrible.
Oh no, the Sanae matchup. I was like, this matchup is free. There's no free. This is the easiest matchup Remelia has. Because I fought like, I don't know, like Greenspark, Beats. Remember Beats? That's an old player.
Yeah.
Ionator, Sanae is like the freest wins I've ever gotten. And early days Ham, but then Ham comes up with the Ham's her own style. I am not going to approach Remelia. This character sucks. It's gonna intercept me or something.
Yeah, but that style is gay.
So I am just going to run away. I am going to set up the Kaneko Wind. I'm going to set up Tuwako Bubble. I'm going to set up J2C.
No, but wait, there's a solution for that against that playstyle. It's literally staying on corner. It's literally that.
Yeah, but every time you block 2-1-4, wind, you get slowly chipped, and it's like the slowest working towards the slowest win ever. You're slowly chipping you away, and you're intercepting whatever you try to.
Yeah, but you will win.
I mean. Consider the fact that Sanae's defense is also not really very bad, and like if you fuck up, like she hits you with like 2A, right, and then you just take
2A into combo.
So that shit hurts.
And she also has good tech. She has a good tech, so
if
it's hard to
if it has to come down to like who is going to kill the other character that's lowest, it's a little hard to tell whether it be Remelia or it'd be Sanae, because Sanae can also just play really slow, and then, you know, she can start.
Remelia just has the advantage because she can get a lot more of her momentum, while Sanae doesn't get much of her momentum.
Yeah.
Remy can just carry momentum harder, so it's still a positive matchup. It's just, oh my god, it's when Sanae decides to play it like that, it's hard. I've gotten impatient, and I've dropped many games versus Ham in tournaments. Because I'm not patient enough, and I just win the first round, and then I just start throwing myself into the bullets.
Well,
and then my health is 0.
I think the matchup is weird because like as Sanai, I don't really feel like that I have to play like really campy, but like it does feel like most of the times when I shoot bullets, Ramila can't really do much, and yeah, there's the chain as well, but I'm not sure if like Kaneko just ignores the chain. I'm pretty sure it does, right?
Kaneko ignores him. Wait, Kaneko win?
No, Kaneko dash.
Kaneko dash ignores everything with Miller first.
Yes.
You can just ail him out, press it, and but
So it feels
really
like
familiar.
I press the bullets, right? J5C or J2C and stuff. And then I just dash forward, right? And or then she starts like doing chain to try to catch me off the bullets. Then I just start mashing like Kaneko dash, and it feels like I don't know. It sort of feels like Remilia's neutral, really lax versus Sanai in a way. And then because of the packets as well, I feel like I can get some fair momentum on Remilia, which is also like DP safe in a way. If she takes out, because I get a 2/2 packet and a land
That
cancel.
covers a lot, yeah.
So it feels like the best advantage Remilia has there is like the cradle and her block strings, I guess.
Packets are kind of good, but you're literally the only Sanai that uses packets well. Ham started using all 2/2 now, the Sky Serpent. Which is actually goes really well with her playstyle because now I cannot dodge vertically too. I have to move horizontally.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
you don't really have to. I mean, I think
before I could just hover, like doing 2-on-4 C chains, just hover in the air. The Kaneko wind is on the ground. I don't care. I can just stay here, spamming J2B, spamming J2C, camping in the ceiling. But now the Sky Serpents chase me vertically, so I gotta move horizontally.
the Sky Serpent. Yeah, J2C is problematic, but like the way I play with Remilia is, since it's kind of like the same tactic as like you just stay in the opponent's face. It doesn't really feel like it happens very often when I play Remy against the Sanai. It's mostly just me getting hit by like melee and stuff, but like getting hit by Sanai's J5A in the air doesn't really combo into a lot of shit anyways. So I'd rather get hit by that than the J2C.
J2C hurts. But yeah, Sana is... I'll say it's still positive. Like, the only negatives for me are Iku, Patchy.
Yeah, Patch is a little hard, huh? It makes me have to like be patient, I guess.
I cannot graze. That's why it's hard for me. I don't know how Nanyako feels about the matchup because Nanyako doesn't play the matchup. Wait, no, he played against Hidematto, and he won against Hidematto.
I will say that it's not that hard as as Yujuko, for example, or Iku, or even Sanai. I think that Sanai is harder than Patchy.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because I don't know. I think that Patchy is weak as a character. But I don't know. That's only me, I think.
Careful, Zero's gonna be outside your door.
I kind of agree. Patchy's weak in the matchup, and it's because of Remilia's speed. So if you can bait bullets, if you can graze, like you're gonna have an easier time fighting against Pachilo. But I wouldn't say she's like weak as a character.
Nanyako played and had decent win rate versus Hibimato, so I gotta give him that versus Patchy.
I will but for the matchup, instead of chains, I will say that forks are better. At least against Seraphius. At least.
Oh, no, Seraphius.
Against me? I don't know. Forks they don't do that much. I haven't seen them.
No, because you match FIC, that's why.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just me not adapting. It's like I don't think a pro Patchouli wouldn't be able to adapt to that. Like I press a lot of buttons, but that's me. But like top level Patchouli is probably not that effective. I mean, yeah, she's gonna try to set up J5C, but what's to say, that instead of doing a J5C or whatever, she can just reposition herself. So I don't think there's like one surefire answer to like counter a ceiling Patchouli. It's good and it shuts down some options, but like she can still adapt to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Hisouten even like mashing J5C very often either.
No, because he tries to stay on the same like horizontal plane as you, and he aims for like 60 snipes rather than trying to like do setups constantly, and that's what I do because I'm like a more aggressive player, I guess. And
He mashed DP, by the way.
well, yeah, because he knows your block strings and he knows what's tight and what's not tight. So yeah, he's gonna,
Oh yeah,
he's
when
gonna
we played
DP.
Hibimaru, he was just meme deck.
Yeah.
No,
Hibimaru
I
has a
remember,
meme deck.
Rand lost against Hibimaru like 50-0.
Really? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
Hibimaru was
He
really
lost,
good.
Like, 10-0.
Like he's got a serious deck and then he's got a meme deck, both of which involve.
Like, he was just playing us with the meme deck, and he just bodied Ran with the meme deck.
Wow, dude.
Like, he also bodied me with the
there's
meme deck,
something about
and
Soku
then
I'm
Nanyako
just not
got a few wins.
understanding. How do you body Remilia? How the fuck does that happen?
I think Rand is trying to force his playstyle. Yes, on
to
like
call her out on her bad
His
reads.
playstyle sucks. It's literally spamming chains on neutral.
I mean, Miso side made it work in the corner. So
Okay, I think
I think
Rand.
I was the only one who fucking even like hit him out of chains like a couple of times. Everyone else just got chained over and over again. It was kind of embarrassing, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like chain meta is kind of strong right now, and what Rand might have done versus like Hibi is probably what he does against me, because I like to press a lot of bullets and I get counter hit by like the chain a lot because I'm not expecting getting sniped by this thing. Which, by the way, I still think chain is a better skill in the matchup, just my personal opinion. But it's probably because he thinks Hibimato is going to start smashing bullets as much as I do, and Hibimato's a lot more defensive.
Hibimaru just stay still.
Yeah, he'll look at you menacingly.
He'll read into your soul.
Alright, so we're getting close to wrapping this up. I just want to ask one more question. Why exactly do you think you should pick Remilia over any other character on the roster when it comes to playing Soku?
Because you want to be annoying.
Fast.
How does she
If you don't like having to defend,
I thought that was a Baizal for a second.
if you don't like having to defend, Remilia's a pretty good pick.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
really like her. I think like she has room for quite a lot of play styles. They're not just defensive. And yeah, you do get like even if you just start being an offensive player, like you can start you still have like nice defense.
Yeah.
She's definitely not easy when you're starting out though. It feels like Remilia when you're starting out feels kind of bad.
You need to learn how to do pressure, and that's the thing most Remilias cannot do.
Yeah, she has like cool skills. Like chain is pretty amazing. I like the way it works. I think, and then you have like these cool combos and stuff. So she's pretty fun when you learn how to play her really well. So
when I started playing, I actually the first thing I learned was like I don't know. I ended up, because everyone was so good, I was like in Hisouten all days. Like there were like no beginner channels. All the everything you fought were like beasts. I had to fight like alpha, like I don't know, like alpha every day. So like the only thing that started developing was like my defense. So I like started like learning when to like I just started like just mashing a lot of 2-3-6, a lot of DP, and it started like working more. Like I think a big thing that inspired this was one time I was like looking for hosts, and then I realized like Sea Layer hosted. I was like, oh, Sea Layer, I haven't played a guy. Supposedly he's really strong. And then he proceeded to meme me by just DPing everything I ever did. Every melee I did, it was just intercepted with a DP. Every time I was like baffled, like, oh, what the fuck? I can't do anything. I didn't think about blocking back then.
Legend.
I was like, if I can do that with Amelia, it's gonna be crazy. And then you started spamming DP everywhere. It's all Sea Layer's fault. So then I started like, I started getting DPs 2-6, and I'm like, oh cool, I can do pressure off this. And then I learned pressure after defense.
you're still on the process there. You know?
And I never learned neutral. That's where I stand right now. I just went from get bodied, reverse momentum, do pressure, win. That's literally what I did.
I mean, when I played like top tier Amelias, they really play like really clean. So I like playing them quite often. The way Amelias played at that level is
Logic. Good players like Logic are really clean.
Yeah, they're clean and like they have good combos and stuff, and they do like or it might just be because I'm racing and racing isn't really very hard to like have options, I guess, because like all the options on racing that always work, and like you don't really get screwed out very often by things. And she also has like the wake up with Chain, I guess. But even so, like I'm sure when I play other characters like Misosa and Logic, we'll be able to play really cleanly.
Yeah.
And they don't just like do the same tactic, right? Like because Remelia does have to play like this sort of it can be boring neutral, but like I feel like the best way to play it is kind of like it's quite spacey, right? So like she walks back in order for you to mess up your offense. So you have to really go in slowly, and you can still go in. But you have to really know when to attack Remelia and stuff, or else they're just going to air you. And
yeah,
it would start to feel slow, like they don't even try to like punish your fail offensive attempts. But like if you fail once, like yeah, they hit you out of it, right? And then they hit you with the pressure and stuff. So it's pretty nice.
With Remelia, a lot of things you can just transform me into her beast pressure.
Yeah. And then you start getting too close to her, and she starts hitting you with J2A, right? And that counter hits sometimes.
Yeah, it hurts.
So if you're a player that always that's not trying to like that's ready to like take risks and stuff, right? And you're playing against Remelia, she teaches you pretty well how and when to attack, at least.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that will just about do it. If anybody else from the viewer has any questions left for these guys, Blaze Dragon, Nanyako, Iron, anything about Remelia, or maybe even the hosts, now would be the time. Because we're just about out of time and I need to shill a couple things. So, up to now, this was the last character. We've done it. We've finished every single character in Soku.
Oh god, that was it.
I don't know what else you guys want, but that was probably the longest segment of a podcast series ever. So, you know, good job to us. Thank you, Genki.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad we were actually able to finish this. It took over a year to get through 20 characters, and that's over 20 guests. That's hours upon hours of streaming and scheduling. I'm so done with characters, but we did it. Outside of that, we as for what's coming up lately, soon enough should be DC 27, I think. Genki should know more about it. Either 27 or 28. Yeah. Does Genki live?
Kinda.
He's alive.
So what do you ask exactly?
Now.
Genki just woke up.
He literally just woke up.
I didn't. I just I cannot distracted. Again, what you were talking about?
Oh yeah, it was the upcoming DC.
He was killing more flying cockroaches.
Do you have more cockroaches? Did you kill them all yet?
I'm free. Don't worry.
He may not have many cockroaches right now, but he definitely has some tournaments to show.
Yeah,
so you were doing
DC coming up?
Honestly, I am not sure. I will need to check the date and everything with you being part of the last podcast and everything. So I can't tell for sure what's up with it. So.
Well, okay.
I can't shield it for now. I can't.
Well, I can tell you that. I mean, I guess as an announcement, I don't know. You guys probably don't know, but I'm probably going to be done streaming Dream Chasers on the podcast I mean, I didn't want to like make it a big message or make a big deal out of it, but hopefully we can find another streamer for the podcast so that way that continue and the Dream Chasers tournament schedule. Because I do want, I still want both things to run, but as it turns out, I don't always have the time to schedule these things. IRL, And so I'm probably going to do like one more DC. I'm probably going to do one more podcast. And then the next podcast should be kind of going back to our roots a little bit, kind of freestyle. We're going to have a couple topics. We're not going to worry about the time, and we're just going to go at it, and it's going to be super fun. Instead of covering all the characters like we did.
Instead of talking about a character.
Mm-hmm. That's
with
right.
The exact same copy-pasted flow for 20 episodes in a row.
Worth it. We do have another tournament coming up. It should be Owls. I don't know why, but Advice Owl decided that he was going to host his own SA tourney.
Advice Owl is actually just like the ambassador for the regions and region lock tournaments. He's been doing that, and I gotta give him props because a lot of the things that have been going along with the tournaments have sort of excluded certain regions from playing because their net doesn't really work with the rest of the net, and there's a lot of coin flips, and it's just not that fun to play in tournaments. So I'm happy that he's doing it, and I think it's a good thing.
So to respond to
Owl.
what Advice Owl said, first he said, "What am I going to do now that I have a social life? I'm going to live free, my friend." And he also said SA wasn't going to do it themselves. Not true. Small NDU was he was actually the person who was hosting SA tournaments for the Espanol channel. So they had
he was following on my legacy. I did the SA tournaments before.
I'm pretty sure SA Facebook tournaments still continue anyway. I don't know. Dude,
They were fun for a while.
I killed them. I killed them all.
But you weren't even the one who started it. It was fucking like, who was that dude again? Morichico or something like that.
Like Nayoy?
The meme tournaments.
Facebook tournaments? Oh, those were like the month-long tournaments that last like you have to play your matches before 2 weeks.
Oh
and everyone played them at the last possible day. So I had like 2 month-long meme tournaments where the only way to win was to kill with a spell. If you didn't kill with a spell, it didn't count as a win.
I lost to Irok because I didn't kill him with a spell card.
I lost to Mabel because I did kill Mabel with a spell card. We started doing more traditional like Sokusat style tournaments in Fridays. Sokuvier, Soku Friday.
Chocuvier?
Sokuvier.
Alright,
which is Friday in Spanish. Yeah, but then like we had like a bunch of memes and it became Tukevier because someone mispronounced Hisouten Soku as he and Tuke.
No, and I don't think we need new big tournaments like that. We have them.
What was the name of that guy?
Every single day.
Shigeo?
Like you're asking a lot of people who have a schedule. Like these things like Corner Assault usually end up with like 50 players, right? You're asking on a weekly basis or something for 50 players to show up to come play Hisouten Soku. I mean, that's a great dream, and I admire your optimism. But that doesn't happen. That's why the tournaments are planned months in advance.
Yeah, and the tournaments that we have going on right now, most of them, they last a fair amount of time anyway. Like, we can have Chesiro say, like, 1 hour, or, like, he'll just say, oh, hey, I'm doing a tournament in 5 minutes, and he'll get, like, 20 or 30
Come
players.
on. You don't like
that's
Chesiro?
Chesiro. He's just a god-tier tournament organizer. He doesn't announce anything, really, until, like, it's about to happen.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, as long as
and he gets a sizable amount of participants because it's sort of on a schedule and they know to expect it. And it's not like Corner Assault where it's got this massive showing where you have to like have the group stage and all that sort of thing, but it's really not that bad. The participant count is pretty decent, and I don't think that 50 people is necessary for a tournament to be really big. Because you can make any tournament last a good long time depending on how many viewers you're spectating and when you're or however many players you're spectating, sorry.
It really depends on the players that are in a tournament too. Some people just take too much time to finish a race.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you can make like a beginner beatdown tournament with like 4 players in it. Take like 3 hours. Because neither of them
Do you
can
really
just...
think Beginner Beatdown suffers from this?
I've commentated like the last 5 of them. Yes, they do. I've just stopped commentating and I just scream into the microphone at this point.
Why does Dream Chasers not get this problem?
Because they're usually mid-level and one of the players in the matchup usually knows how to end the game.
I don't know. I think it's still so in DC.
Yeah, DC...
The only thing where it might be faster is because Nanyako is not in it to like the bracket. 3 hours.
Hey, real question. Why do you think like all the good players aren't showing up for Soku sets? Like, you got the weekly suspects every single week. It's like me, Nanyako, Iron, the Bomb, maybe Genki. You got Friend Burger. He shows up. It's like we don't get anybody outside of like this group. Oh, and then there's Agelandro.
Wait, I don't even show up. And did you say Ran?
No. Yeah, Ran too.
Okay, yeah. Ran shows up for all of them. I don't really show up for them, actually. Not that much. I showed up for the last one.
Well, Agelandro only shows up when we need Baka.
Well, what players are you like talking about? It's like
we're talking about
Fear is busy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean there are some players. They just, I mean, it's Saturday. Usually, I mean for me at least, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Sometimes there'll be like people over. It's Saturday, like a late afternoon, early evening on a Saturday. It's kind of expected for some people to be busy then, because it's a pretty popular time of the week.
Yeah, for NA 10s, I guess. Advice always kind of kindly explain that for us.
And then some people, they're just like, hey, oh boy, 3 a.m., time to play some Soku. But that's my logic here. Is NA is usually going to be kind of weird about it. I mean, for me, the tournaments usually start at like maybe 1 or 2 p.m. So that's like just smack dab in the middle of the afternoon, especially because it's the summer. So I mean, who the hell is going to be inside the house at 2 p.m. during the summer?
Yeah, I hear you, friend.
Yeah, when it's so fucking hot.
I mean, it's so fucking hot, so I'm always inside anyway.
Yeah,
and it stopped being a white to brown gradient and it's turning white to green at some point. It's not good. But yeah, that's why I'm inside on the peak normie hours. It just doesn't really.
Yo, I think that just about wraps it up, though. Yeah, we got our questions here. I think we covered just about everything, and I don't know if we have anything next week. I guess we'll see you guys that time around then. I want to thank you guys again for showing up today for the podcast. We had a bit of a late start. Blaze Dragon wasn't here. Iron died. Nanyako's here. Genki's fucking dead.
I'm still here.
Same.
But thank you again. Thanks for joining on the podcast.
Thanks for hosting it, Zero.
Of course.
Zero fuss.
All right, I'll see you guys
Old
later.
fussy.
Yeah.
Finally.